Then we are live. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. By the way, everyone, I'm joined here by BNMotive. He's a pixel artist and a friend of mine, and I thought he'd be fun to have on the channel. No stream from him today, but maybe down the line, another date. But yeah. Good to hear that you're doing good. I'm doing all right myself. Haven't had work in a while, so trying to get that all sorted. But it is what it is. Yeah, no, I really do. On the bright side, I've had a lot of time to just draw, so it's been kind of fun working on stuff. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and warm up on just like, I've been working with illustrating a character I've been having fun with, and then I have a piece that I'm doing that I want to animate, but kind of like a moving wallpaper kind of thing. So it's not going to be like anything crazy, but it's going to be some fun like light and effect stuff. So got a lot of detail to get through though as far as the coloring goes, so it'll be a little while before that's done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm probably just going to post it on YouTube and kind of call it a day. It'd be kind of fun to... Oh, yeah? Yeah, exactly. So... Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. I've never looked into it. Go ahead and send it to me, and I can go ahead and send it to me, and then I can post it in chat. Just send it over Discord. That's the easiest way. Ooh. Oops. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really curious. That's like an interesting... It's like dithering effect kind of thing or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. No, I wonder if it's kind of a basic form of like rigging or something like that. If there's it would almost be kind of like a mode 7 on steroids kind of thing, I guess. That'd be kind of sick. Good to see you, Taxi. This is BMNotive. By the way, guys, if you ever are curious, I have I have your Twitch right now in the description. So that'd be a good place to kind of check out his stuff. I'm sure you have your other links there as well. Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Card. Maybe I've heard of Card. I mean, I went like kind of full old school and went to freaking NeoCities, so that's been kind of fun. Not the most efficient, but it's a lot of fun. I do actually. It's where my comic is hosted right now. I want to host a lot of stuff through it. There you can. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the nice thing is you can get like custom domains and stuff like that. So like you don't necessarily need to keep it like as the such and such at NeoCities or whatever. Which is cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's bad. So no, I've got mine on autopay thankfully. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that might. Yeah, that might be really good for like just yeah, a good like kind of landing portfolio page or something like that. Just something really professional and clean. Because obviously my NeoCities is more for like an audience, like for people to have fun with, you know, and stuff like that. Um, but I want to get good at it and make it a bit more interactive and whatnot. It's super basic right now. It's just the comic and stuff like that, but I want it to be a much more fun experience down the line. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not bad at all. Also, see you later there, Taxi. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Let's make sure the other side. Yep. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I do miss the. Oh, go ahead. Uh, I was gonna say I do miss the kind of classic Capcom look. It was super fun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it just like it's just everything. A lot of times ends up being like hyper realism or whatever. Um, mm-hmm. I am actually kind of curious what got you into like the Capcom art style. Was it just growing up with the games mostly, or like did like as you were getting into drawing, did that kind of like appeal to you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. That actually makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's really cool. As far as like Capcom and all that kind of stuff goes. Well, funny enough, like I guess kind of the same thing as far as like video games and whatnot. I got a little bit of echo there. Yeah, a little bit. But for me, it was actually like probably one of the most influential games on my art was I grew up. We got a PS2 really early on, and I was pretty young around that time. And we also picked up the game Ico, which everyone knows, like Shadow of the Colossus, right? Like that one's super popular, but not as many people know Ico. But Ico was the game that like really like it was like, okay, this isn't just like, you're not just playing it the same way you play like Mario or Zelda or something like that. It's a totally like unique experience. Yeah. And so that no, that's later. That was The Last Guardian, which man, oh my gosh, it's so funny to think that The Last Guardian exists now, because I remember getting just super into like Shadow of the Colossus and Ico and whatnot, and I remember seeing like the E3 trailer for The Last Guardian in 2009 or whatever, or like finding it on YouTube like a couple of years later, and by that time it was like, okay, like PS3 is on its way out. Like there hasn't been any news in like a number of years, and every year that passed by, it's like there's less and less news about it. It's like there's no way that Last Guardian is going to come out, right? And for me, like I was like, I loved the idea of Shadow of the Colossus 2. I was like, that's got to be a thing, right? And then friggin' The Last Guardian just comes out of the blue, and I'm like losing my mind, and everyone's like, oh yeah, this game just came out, and it's like, are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. Highly recommend. I do know that the PS3 had an HD collection of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. That's how I ended up finally beating both of them. But as far as a collection for all three games, I have no idea. Actually, I'm curious. Let me look that up. Yeah, it's only on PlayStation. Yeah. Yeah. Although they have been putting more games on PC, so maybe they'll put that one there. Let me see here. Yeah. Team Ico collection. I kind of doubt it. Yeah, it. Oh. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Oh my word. Yeah, no, it's getting kind of weird. Honestly, like at this rate, I'm more excited about like ROM hacks than I am anything AAA. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kleenex. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's always dangerous. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 I mean, that's always kind of been there. It's actually really interesting if you look at like, animation, for example, like old school, like Disney, back when Disney was still alive kind of stuff. He eventually had to go public to keep the company afloat. And it's kind of been a nightmare ever since in one capacity or another. And of course, now we know Disney as the kind of uh, friggin' evil overlord that it is, right? Kind of thing. and that kind of started all the way back even then. Like it was, yeah, it's crazy when you start getting investors involved, just how the dynamic changes and whatnot. So I think it's kind of coming to a head in this day and age, though. So we'll see what happens as far as all that goes. What's up, Blanket? That's the big question, right? It's like, okay, you guys can't keep doing this forever. This isn't sustainable at this point. Also, hi, Glisten. So my hope is ultimately like things will kind of like scale back, and you know, we'll start asking the question, okay, what can we like? What's realistic, you know? Because I would love to see like smaller, just really creative, even if it's not like technically impressive, like animated series on YouTube or wherever, right? Just really. Digital Circus. Yeah, I mean stuff like that. Yeah, like just more variety in different stuff and aspects. The chat on screen. So the chat on screen is caffeinated. It's yeah, Caster Labs caffeinated, and basically what I use it for is I'm streaming twice. I'm streaming to vertical and I'm streaming to horizontal. And so what that allows is if people are on the vertical side, for example, they can still see messages from the horizontal side as well. So it makes it so that everyone's chat is collected and everyone can read and respond to each other's messages. Mm. Mm-hmm. No, unfortunately not. Yeah. So both instances of stream are disconnected. So I have two different chats. That's why I wanted to combine them. Yeah, it's a little scuffed. Like I'm not gonna lie, YouTube, like make no mistakes. I've been enjoying streaming on YouTube. It's scuffed. Like, yeah, it's this head's turning out not great, honestly. Yeah, no, it's a little screwy. I'm actually gonna start working on this. Let's see. I mean, the easiest way to probably I think I can give. It's a good question. I mean, hold on. Let me give you the link to the. I'm guessing you're looking at the vertical or the horizontal. Which one do you already have? Okay, let me give you the horizontal then, and you can just pull the chat from that. So, welcome to my world, man. we make things work here. Yeah. So, let's see. See it. That's probably the case, but I'm not nowhere near near that. Mm-hmm. I will say I've been really grateful to how many people have been stopping by the streams, though. It's been really nice. Been very encouraging. Yeah. Taxi has actually been around for freaking ever. He would join when there was like no one else a long time ago. It was great. So. No, I've never seen that. I need to think about different colors of blanket. Actually, you know, I'm not gonna do that. Let's color the room first. This would be kind of like that. Shoot, I have to think about colors now. Maybe think about how you're gonna do what? Oh yeah. Let's see what I've been actually really enjoying the gouache brush in the oil paint section. That's been a really nice brush. That's kind of my go-to lately. It's been super nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Nice. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, the update from 1.0 to 2.0 in Clip Studio Paint was absolutely great because it changed up the brush engine, or rather the the blending engine. And so now, like, you don't lose saturation as much, because that was one of the biggest pains when it came to digital painting, was you would lose all of your saturation, like, all the time. And now that's not so much an issue. Everything kind of stays saturated, which is super nice. Yeah, from going from 1.0 to 2.0. So it's been a couple of years now, I want to say. But that really came in handy on a commission I did a while back, doing a really abstract painting. It was so nice to have a color engine that actually blended the colors more realistically, so I could get those kind of cool transitions a lot easier, rather than having to constantly put more paint in. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That would be nice. Mm-hmm. It is a very quirky software. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I wish that they would really do. One of the hardest to do, probably, but would be so much nicer, would be updating the software to actually handle multi-threading, so they would be like way faster, or GPU acceleration, something along those lines that just makes it run a bit better. Because it runs good, but it's held back, it feels. Actually, I have. I got an iPad recently, and I've been messing around with it, and yeah, no, I'm really impressed with it. The only thing that I don't like about the iPad version is it's a subscription only. It's like, come on, guys, really? Yeah, so that's really disappointing because of my trial ended, and it's like I literally can't afford to get a subscription right now, and it's like you know well, I did the full trial, so I was able to get some work done actually, but still, like, yeah, it wasn't the best. I do have Procreate, and Procreate is like my Procreate is like my go-to sketching software. It's like what I used to just like quickly get in and start drawing. It's really nice for that. I've not tried Dreams. I would love to try it. I've heard that it's a little weird with some of the decisions they made. Like there wasn't a lasso tool or something like that. So hopefully they've added that since. But still. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally get you. The manipulation tools in CSP could use some serious work. There's little things that just are like, oh man, this would be so much better if it worked like this or this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's hard to say. I think it really depends on the culture of the company and everything like that. There's a guy I've been watching every now and again who gives some kind of interesting insight into Japanese culture called Sora the Troll, and he does it in a really comedic way. And it's a very like basic kind of look at things, not like super extensive or like robust in terms of like every scenario ever. It's just kind of based on his experience. But it is always kind of interesting to see just the way like different aspects of their culture are like either different or you know the things that are happening and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess the big thing is we'll just have to see with you know as the culture changes or whatever if yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Stuff like that. There are some, from what I've heard. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Julie. Good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, it's interesting to see like the kind of stuff like you know, what's potentially changing over there or whatnot. So we'll just have to see, I guess. Not really. I own literally one Mega Man game, and it's, you know, because I have an NES collection, so I figure if I'm gonna have an NES collection, I might as well have Mega Man 2, yeah. But I am curious, though, but has something kind of come up with Mega Man? Oh, yeah, Love, Death, and Robots, yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, Concord. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I haven't been like doing the scale properly or the tolerance or anything like that. I probably should. Let me try to kind of tune that in, because that would be nice, not having to worry about that so much. It's just the thing about it is these, yeah, these lines are a little like fuzzy. They're not like super solid lines, so it's a little tougher to, yeah, tougher to get it to. Nope, I'm on the wrong layer. Classic mediums, not really. I've done like charcoal, but I've never actually done like oil paint or watercolor or anything like that. I'd be curious to give it a shot. I think it'd be fun. Oh yeah. Oh, interesting. Huh. That does sound fun. If there was one I would do, that looks a little bit tighter. If there was one I was gonna do, I would actually love to try out like gouache. I think gouache would be super fun. Oops. I'll just do that. That's better. All right. Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is one thing with traditional is you really have to like have experience with the medium, I would say. I mean, digital obviously you have to have experience, but like you can also be so much more experimental with it because obviously you can always just delete it. Um, yeah, the one thing that's really held me back as far as like getting into traditional is I've never felt comfortable on paper. There's something about like using a pencil that feels really uncomfortable. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of the big reason why I didn't do a lot of drawing when I was younger. I did some, and I did get all right. I got into digital around like 2013, something like that. So it was right on the cusp of when it was becoming more accessible, like with digital drawing pads and things like that, right? Which had been around for a while, but like now people knew about them, right? Um, mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Number two. I remember, yeah, I bought a like a .5 lead mechanical pencil that I used for years when I was sketching in a little sketchbook when I was in school. Um, and yeah, yeah, that thing served me really well, honestly. Hmm. Hmm. I remember a friend of mine gave me a kneaded eraser just out of the blue. Out of the blue, he was just like, "Yeah, here you go, you can have it." I'm like, "Oh, sweet." Yeah, but it was just kind of funny. That thing was handy, that's for sure. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair. Hmm. No, that does sound fun, actually. I've never had to work retail, thankfully. Well, who knows? With the way work is going, well, I might have to kind of find something here, but we'll see about all that. I mean, I will say I'm not sure if because I do teaching, so you know I have my own headaches to deal with as far as dealing with, you know, kids and all that. Maybe that'd be kind of interesting to see how that works. It's all about marketing, though. Like that is the like number one thing to learn is marketing, man. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really should look into stuff like that because, you know, there's certainly, I mean, for goodness sakes, I have a lot of connections to, like, you know, different schools around this area. So, yeah. No, there's plenty of opportunity out there. You just gotta get at it. That's the key. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. No, it's kind of crazy. What color do I want these boards to be? Actually, hold on. I'm doing this wrong. Mm-hmm. Kind of have a little, I'm checking to see, kind of getting a little bit of breakup in your voice, so it's kind of hard to hear what you're saying. I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's an internet thing or if it's like a gate thing or something like that. Maybe. Either way, I think it's a little bit better now. But yeah, no, the whole AI things. I mean, that's a whole monkey wrench in and of itself. Mm-hmm. Speaking of writing, that is actually something I really want to get back into. Yeah, I just haven't been putting in the time, but I did start a couple of little pieces a while back that I really enjoyed, so I need to go through and touch them up and I don't know, maybe do like a little, really short little storybook kind of thing with him. That would be kind of fun. That'd be kind of a fun idea. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the key, right? But the other key, I think, is like convenience, like making it as convenient as possible for people to read your story and whatnot, and consistency. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna. I need. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, kind of an. Yeah, yeah, kind of the idea of scalability. I guess the key is how do you find your niche, right? Mm-hmm. Let's see. That's actually what's been kind of nice about going to YouTube is that I feel like I don't know, it's been a lot more chill, laid back, and personal in that regard. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never was a trend chaser because it never felt like my heart was actually in it. It's like I don't, and especially for me who like I'm really not like a big anime guy. Like I've seen series and I enjoy, you know, what I enjoy, but like, you know, I'm not looking for like the next big series to watch and make art on and stuff like that. I don't really care about that. Mm-hmm. I have too many projects I need to be working on rather than drawing fan art. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. Man, speaking of fan art, I should draw some Popeye at some point. Yeah, why not? Popeye's great. You didn't like it? Man, I love spinach. Now, I will say, friggin'... Oh, okay. Now, I will say canned spinach. Nah, nah, man. It's... Oh, my word, that is some rough stuff. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it kind of is, honestly. All that iron floating to the top. Oh. I get crap for putting spinach on my ramen, because I'll make like homemade ramen. I use the like little packs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and every single time I get ramen at like a restaurant, they always have spinach in it. So it's like, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know. It looks like spinach. It tastes like spinach. I don't know. Maybe it's seaweed. I don't know. Oh. Catch it to ramen? Oh, I'm like, wait, what? To pizza. Okay. Well, I will admit, I've had ranch with pizza, and that actually, like, that's not bad. It's not bad. So, yeah. Yeah, I think he's talking about the one of the rugs that I drew. Looks like a Monopoly board. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not crazy about that either. I mean, I'll eat it, but like, yeah, I'm not crazy about the like taco pizzas and stuff like that. It's usually like Doritos as well. It's on it. It's just like, okay, it's not great. Yeah. uh. They put, hold on, King Bob, you're saying that they put corn on pizza in Japan? The world? Man. Really? Oh, that's funny. I remember a friend of mine who's been in Italy a lot, like teaching kids English and stuff like that. He He thought it was really funny that one of the most popular pizzas to get there at like a restaurant or whatever for kids was American style pizza, like quote unquote American style pizza. And it's just like French fries and hot dogs thrown on the pizza. It's like, yeah. Yeah. It's like, that's American pizza, yeah. Mm. Hmm. Okay. I mean, not too far off, honestly. Shoot. I have to do the lights. All right, we're going to do the lights. Oh, yeah. I've been to Costco. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. Oh, really? Hold on, just no more churros in general? Oh, that's disappointing. Huh. Man. I remember everyone freaked out when Twinkies were gonna go away or whatever. Yeah, no, I've never cared for Twinkies. I don't get the hype. Yeah. Probably. Yeah, yeah. Guy always hunting for the Twinkie, yeah. Never did see the sequel, which came out like, what, 10 years later or something like that? Yeah, there wasn't, it didn't really make all that much of a splash. Yeah, I wonder if we'll get through this phase of unnecessary sequels. That would be nice. Yeah. Are they back on strike? Because the writer strike ended last year. Yeah, the animation strike has been going on for freaking ever, and it's really bad. There was a tentative agreement in talks, but like, I don't think it's been signed, and they're still really reluctant to sign it and whatnot. And it's just like, man. Yeah. Well, and then what's it called? Moana 2 was animated in British Columbia, up in Vancouver. Yeah. I have no idea. They're kind of scrambling for any project that's going to boost their numbers right now. You know, all that talk about, you know, stockholders. Mm-hmm. like I said, I really want to see like kind of a reinvention of the industry where it's like, you know, kind of a new standard is set. Yeah. Which, of course, yeah, easier said than done, but what's the alternative to continue working for your evil overlords for the rest of eternity? You know, it's like, yeah. It's tough, but I don't think it's impossible. Mm-hmm. Well, that, you know, that's kind of something that came to my mind when I really started to kind of sit down and think about, you know, my place in the industry. And just as kind of a thought experiment I gave myself, I was like, you know, let's say I got everything I ever wanted, aka, you know, I got to make my own show, blah blah blah, you know, I'm a showrunner for whoever, you know, not that I have any real loyalty to something like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or anything like that. Yeah, but even before, you know, that all shut down, I didn't really care about that. But you know, let's say, you know, I got a show for a Cartoon Network or whatever, and it's like, am I okay with relying on an industry that, you know, ships stuff overseas and literally is built on that level of, you know, human labor? Yeah, it's like, I kind of am not, you know, like I don't really want to partake in that. And so the question is, oh, okay, well, what do you do then? And it's like, well, maybe we scale things back and we say, well, what can we do with like a smaller team or or what have you? And I'm still figuring that out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, frick. You should, King Bob. Hold on, can you not hear both of us? That'd be very unfortunate, because Discord should be being captured by both things. Shoot, let me... You only hear me? What the heck? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why can you only... That makes absolutely no sense, because I'm looking at... I have Discord captured, the audio for Discord captured, and it's good. Like, you should be able to hear it. Is that for both vertical and horizontal? It shouldn't be that. Oh my gosh, that'd be so irritating, because there's literally nothing I can do. It's... I mean, let me try resetting it. Let me just put it... You're muted where? On the vertical or on the horizontal? That, oh my gosh, that makes no sense. Why would you be... Yeah, I do. Oh, that's so frustrating. What the heck? What is going on? Because like I'm looking at OBS right now and it has... Oh, wait. No, it wouldn't do that, would it? Okay, try now. Can you be heard now? Can you hear him? I swear, if this is the case, this is the dumbest thing in the world. This shouldn't be the case. Is it because, hold on, maybe it's because it's not assigned to an audio channel? No, it's assigned to an audio channel. Maybe it has to be assigned to audio channel 1? I swear, if that's the case, I'm going to be so mad.
I'm still muted.
You're still muted?
Yep.
Oh my, I can't believe someone didn't tell me earlier. Oh my gosh, we've been going for an hour. Oh my word, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. It was because it wasn't assigned to channel 1. Oh my
I don't know.
gosh, that is so frustrating.
Why? You guys can hear me now?
Oh my god. Oh, well, this is going to be an embarrassing stream.
Yeah, you know, we learned.
You gotta be.
We were talking about our life history and like.
We had so many good conversations, man.
Talking about the industry and like marketing tips.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm so mad. Why in the world would it be the case? So just to give context, so in the settings in OBS, you can, I can just drag this over. I can show you. So here's all my like sources for audio and crap. So here's Discord, right? Freaking, it's because this wasn't clicked on. Like if I click this off, you're off now. But I have you on channel 2. It's like, why the frick is it muted? Why does it show me that the signal is there? Why doesn't it give me a warning? Oh my gosh, I'm so mad. I am so mad.
That's okay.
Oh my gosh. King Vog, thank you so much for telling us that. Because, like, holy
appreciate it,
crap.
King. You're the king.
Yeah. Oh my word. Okay. Well,
let's reintroduce.
Yes, this is BNMotive. I've not just been talking to myself like a crazy person this entire time. He does pixel art and does stuff like kind of Capcom inspired art. It's really cool.
Yep.
You should check it out and freaking follow him on his streams when he gets back to it, so you can actually listen to him talk, because he has a lot of cool things to say. Doggone it, OBS. Oh my gosh, that's so annoying.
Well, yeah, I should have talked more trash about things instead. Oh man, that's
okay. Well, let's see. Where were we? Let's see what can we go. I mean, everything's a new conversation now.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying earlier, see, we were talking about influences, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you're talking about Ico and you know, like playing the games back then. Like I was saying, like when I was younger, like my dad, he bought me a copy of Rockman Complete Works, and a lot of the artwork it had in it. It was very unique to, you know, other things that you would see in the market that was done about back in the PlayStation 1 era, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you would see like a lot of the very stylized Astro Boy inspired artwork, and ever since then, like I've been hooked on some stuff. You know, lately, you know, they changed as a company. They're more hyper realistic now. So I just been meaning to just capture that essence, you know, in the work that I do.
It's kind of interesting how pixel art, you know, had a huge boom in like the 2010s and stuff like that, and it's definitely still around. Like a lot of indie games still do stuff with pixel art, but it doesn't feel as like. It's kind of funny. I went back and I hooked up my NES the other day. And had
your copy of Mega Man 2?
No, I didn't play Mega Man 2. I thought about it. I was like, oh, I have Mega Man 2, but no, I played Legacy of the Wizard, because that game was actually awesome. And it was just kind of funny going back and playing the NES again after so long, because like it felt old again is the best way I can describe it. It was like
I've never seen this game.
It's a super fun game. It's super cryptic and whatnot, but it's really unique and a lot of fun. But like, I don't know. There was a time when the NES felt kind of like everyone knew what it was, right? Like everyone was familiar with like the NES and Zelda and stuff like that, and like that was like the popular thing to be into as like a kind of a someone who's into video games and whatnot. But now it's like it feels like it's kind of gone back underground, and people still talk about the NES, but not, I don't know, not like they used to. It's kind of funny.
Well, it's because I feel like I'm part of a pixel art circle, and a lot of the conversations have switched to Game Boy and Game
Oh,
Boy
really?
Color graphics. Yeah,
Huh.
dude, like people are obsessed with like the color palettes of like Link's Awakening,
Okay.
Ages, and they've been making a lot of top-down games lately.
That's kind of interesting. Well, it's kind of funny because it reflects like, you know, that's the same era, to some degree at least, as like what's really popular with like, especially like horror games and stuff like that. The low res, you know, kind of PS1 inspired look and stuff like that.
You know, as much as I guess I didn't grow up with that as much. I mean, I played Resident Evil 2, but I don't know, man. Like, I like the look, but I guess it's not for me. I just wish it would have more polish. I think it's like overused.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you there. The idea of polish in particular, like it a lot of times does feel kind of like an excuse to just not like see an idea all the way through, you know?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't want to say it, but yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah. It's like some of them do it pretty good. But it's like the best way I can describe it is when all you're doing is recreating the look or feel of something for the sake of it, like just for the
Yeah,
sake
without
of
understanding why. Yeah.
it. Well, understanding why or having like a real like definitive purpose as to why, you know.
Yeah.
It comes across really cheap and just like, again, like trend chasing, right? Like it's just like, okay, do you really?
But in a way,
Yeah.
is it really like their fault? Like I'm thinking, because like, all right, maybe because we're fossils, so we've seen how it looks like, you know, in real life, and nowadays everything is like now seen through like a different lens. You know, everything being digital nowadays, and it doesn't have that warmth that it once had. So like I'm wondering if it's why we're so biased on something like that, you know?
For me, it's just like I don't know. I get tired of like another really good example is like, you know, quote unquote liminal spaces and stuff like that. It's like,
Oh,
you know, people throw that term around all the time, but it's like, okay, liminal just means, you know, passing through, right? Like that's all it means. But now it's just kind of this what I call a symbol of power, where
yeah.
when you use it or when someone uses it, they expect everyone to be in on it. And so
They're like
the work
the
is already
trendy thing.
yeah. So the work is already done for you, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to make a liminal game, and you know exactly what to expect from that kind of thing, right? Like,
Oh, I see what you mean.
yeah,
They just make this
and
abstract places that don't really have a lot, and they just have like some fancy effect here and there, just like
yeah,
art.
exactly, right? Like it's like it's very vapid. It's basically just vapid art, right? And but what's annoying, especially about like quote unquote liminal spaces, is if you take a little bit of a deeper look and you think, well, okay, what's actually going on, and you think about surrealism. Surrealism opens so many doors. You don't just
It
have to
actually
be
talks
wondering.
about something.
Yeah, or just you could explore anything with surrealism. Like it doesn't have to be just, oh, you're in the back rooms now, right? It's like, no, like maybe you go somewhere else. Maybe you don't have to have a camcorder for no particular reason, right? Like you can do so much, right? If you just kind of step outside of that lens for a little bit and go at it from a different angle.
Wasn't there this game like where like you play around with perspective and like the camera perspective, and they
Oh
just
yeah,
you grab an object that looks big and it becomes small or whatever.
yeah. Superliminal, I think it was called. That was really clever.
Yeah. So that'll be a good example of what you're referring to, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like that's one way to kind of look at it. Yeah, is okay.
there's a
I mean,
purpose.
yeah, it's actually like it's not even necessarily focused on its environment. It's focused on the mechanic, which is what games do. I suppose what I'm more referring to is like more the exploration of a concept, as opposed to like a mechanic. And so,
So
like
what would you say? What's the name of that one with the announcer?
oh,
Parable or
yeah,
something?
Stanley
Stanley
Parable.
Parable.
Yeah, Stanley Parable is a really good example of that actually, where it's this very clever kind of exploration through all these different scenarios and stuff like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a perfect example of something that's much more like has much more intention behind it, right?
Yeah, you know, I've seen this game has been very popular lately, and it does have that retro aesthetic. Uh, it's called Voices of the Void. Dude, people are going crazy with that
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, no, that's a great game. I've watched that game a lot and super like just packed full of a lot of really fun stuff. Um
It's
it
funny because like I watched it without context, and I'm like, I saw like this the streamer, right.
mhm.
Every time that I would go back after a couple of days, I'm like, even then, trying to just like, what the hell are you doing? You're always doing something different. There's no rhyme or reason, but like they're having so much fun.
Yeah, it's the probably the truest example of a sandbox game we have right now,
Yeah.
like that's currently being developed because it is a sandbox game. You are going around learning how to play with all the different little pieces and finding things and whatnot. It's great.
Like you can play it as a platformer, you can play it as a puzzle game, you can play it as a collectathon. And nowadays, I think from a new update, you can play it as a Tamagotchi because like you find this little doll that I'm not gonna spoil it, but like you can take care of it, and
Oh, that's funny.
it's yeah. And I had this VTuber is like, I am a single mom, and like just role playing with the little doll is like, oh, you want cheese? Yeah, I'll bring you cheese. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, that game's great. It's super fun to
It's
see what they
free
come up
too, I
with.
think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
From what I heard, the guys who made it were heavily inspired uh, by the Valve people who made Half-Life and Team
Yeah, yeah.
Fortress,
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's where all the
and
sounds
that's
come
why
from.
they made that game. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wonder what's the legality on that. Why is that? I think they just like, can I use that in my game, or do they ask for permission? How does that even work?
I'm not sure because like yeah, I mean they're not. I guess they're not selling it, maybe, or
Oh, that's true. That's probably why.
I don't know. I mean it's Valve. They're pretty straight laced when it comes to stuff, but
Hmm.
I don't know. That definitely is kind of odd. I don't know how their audio they treat their like audio department.
It's funny, like you fall and like the way the game where when you fall is funny. Because like you can definitely the way they animated is like you can feel it, and like he's like laying on the ground, like ow, and, like it just hurts. But he
Yeah,
sounds so violent and like so
yeah.
guttural, and then he wakes up like he just gets up like whatever, like okay.
I remember they added a really funny uh, part to the game where if you turn it, it's called Velma mode, where if you fall
Oh,
over and like hit your head, you can actually lose your glasses, and then everything's blurry, and you have to find your glasses.
oh no, that's awesome.
Yeah. Um, let's see here. Oh, I love doing flats, colors, and all that. Takes so stinking long.
The game just like tell the Clip Studio just to click and hold, and it'll just fill everything for you?
I think there is something like that, but I haven't messed with it. Someone gave me links to or reference IDs to some tools for filling in stuff. So I need to look into.
Like say for instance, let me I don't know if it helps, but like say if you do like a dark gray for the TV, the CRT plastic shell, right?
Yep.
If you click on the back side of the TV with the fill tool and you hold the mouse as you already clicked it, you slide across all the plastic parts of the TV and it'll fill it for you.
I'm not sure. Hold on. Let me actually pick the color. I mean, I just do selection. I keep everything on its own layer.
Oh, you do selection and tell the program to fill that thing inside?
Yeah. And then, actually, I need to delete the, hold on. Because I use a flatting method where the color and the line work are on their own layer. And I do that specifically because, like, again, this is going to be, like, animated.
You don't get the white stuff?
Yeah. So I mean, technically I could have it reference the other layers and stuff like that, but again, that the issue with that is that it'll like it'll have kind of like a white outline kind of thing, or not be.
I might want to look into this because I want to get into making live TD, VTuber stuff.
Okay,
wait, that would make sense for that work.
Yeah, learning how to like separate assets and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like there's an example that I've seen online where, like, say if you have a model, like you're making this face, right? Like it's weird because like the way they do it is like you see the line on the model, right, for like the face, like the cheeks and everything. That's actually just a solid color on the back, and they just overlap the actual skin color on top. Kind of weird. They do it that way for like when you like move from side to side and it morphs, it retains that in a way that it's like dynamic thickness as the model moves the face. It's really interesting.
It was really funny. I had someone. I was gonna say it was funny because I had someone come in to my stream when I was working on the TV, and they asked like, are they gonna have like, what are they, like static on it or something like that? I was like, oh no, it says line, and the reason it says line is because it's on the line in input, but there's nothing being played right now. Yeah. So I had to explain that to someone.
I honestly, it's hella funny to me right now because I was just gonna say, like, that line better be a green. And it's like you say it explained as like, oh, he painted it green. Like, okay.
Of course, it's got to be green.
Because it was either that or it looks fine to me, but like it's either that or like it always said like what, channel 3.
Yeah, like channel 3, 4, depending. The TV's not that old though. It's like probably made in the 2000s or something like that.
Did you ever like use a TV with like a knob?
Yes, my grandparents had one at their old house.
It was so annoying.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was kind of fun because we didn't have to deal with it like every day.
Because it's made out of cheap plastic, so it would snap off.
Oh, well, the one they had was pretty decent, so it never broke. But truth be told, the TV that I grew up with, one of my favorite TVs that we had was this little, I want to say it was a Panasonic combo TV. It had a VHS player built into it. And I loved that thing. We actually figured out that you can record gameplay video onto VHS on that thing. We were blown away. We're like, no way.
That's amazing. That's how kids submitted their videos to magazines to show
Yeah, yeah.
records, you know?
Which I never like. It was like, because that was a thing, you saw on like G4 or whatever. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
video footage of games and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but they have like special hardware to do that kind of stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, no, all you need is a VCR and a TV and a game console and a free tape. It's like, man.
Did you ever
Technology's
call
amazing.
Nintendo Power?
Oh no, we never had Nintendo Power.
Nintendo Power for us was just a magazine.
Mm-hmm. See, I grew up mostly in the 2000s.
Yeah, same.
And we didn't get a lot of magazines in general. We did get a like Lego magazine, but that was pretty much it.
I remember the first magazine was because it had Mega Man, of course, and they were promoting Mega Man Neo. That's back then the code name for Mega Man Legend.
Oh, okay.
A really cool artwork. I liked it. Very unique. Mega Man and Roll and their PlayStation 1. And they weren't using weird 3D models or anything. They were actually using the Japanese artworks.
Mm. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I didn't do a lot like. Oops. No, like even like online and stuff like that, like forums or, when a game would come out, have a website or whatever. Never really did a whole lot of that. At least until I got a computer, but that wasn't until like the late 2000s, like mid to late 2000s. And then I just mostly used it to watch HomestarRunner.com anyway.
Oh, my brother, I don't know how I found out, but I guess the forums or friends or whatever, but that was the golden age for emulating.
Oh, yeah. I remember we had an emulator that we just had like stored around for the longest time.
Let me guess, did it have a blue screen?
No, it was SNES 9X or whatever it's called.
Oh, because I remember one that had a very vulgar name.
Oh, really? No, we didn't have anything like that. But I remember like whenever we wanted to emulate Super Nintendo, we would always use this same where is it? We would always use the same emulator. Well, one day it's having a really hard time, and by this time it's like this is like years later, right? This is during the time of like Windows 10, right? So I install it and I'm trying to play it and it's like glitching out. I'm like, what the heck is going on with this emulator? It's never had issues before. And I check the info and it's like for use with Windows 95, 98, and 2000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is a really old version of this emulator.
Yeah,
so I went
Windows
out.
I was like, what is this?
So I went out online and I found an updated version. And it compatible with Windows 10 or whatever. I was like, oh, there we go. Now it's working. It was really funny.
Yeah, there was one back then. It was blue and it had like pixel art, like flames and stuff. It looked pretty gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to use it is because it would only work full screen, and so like you go into the menu and you like file open, and then you would have like a list of like files for you to open. That's how you would browse it.
Okay.
Man, can you what's the policy here for language in your stream?
Oh, yeah.
So we're formal here. Okay, never mind. But like that's fine. But like there was that, and then after that, like there's like a newer one, um, and that one was pretty popular, um, in the 2000s. So yeah, I would just play all the NES games. Oh, and the Neo Geo games were really fun too to play arcade in your PC. Oh, it was the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to play a lot of the Metal Slug stuff, dude. It was awesome.
I remember my brother one day. He spent a summer. This is back when he was still in high school, and so I must have been in middle school. And my oldest brother was like off to college or something like that. And so he told my my middle brother, my middle oldest brother, he's like, okay, I have all of these Genesis titles, all of these ROMs. I need you to play through all of them and tell me which ones are any good. So my brother spent like the entire summer just playing Genesis ROMs. And he's like, yeah, there's like 5 good games.
What was your favorite?
Well, I don't know what were some of his favorites. I've not played all that much Genesis myself. Like obviously Sonic 2 is really good. That's like one of the few Genesis games I actually own. I do not have a lot of Genesis games. I have an original version 1 Genesis. But yeah, as far as like, I'm trying to think if there's any Genesis titles that I would really actually want to play, and not really. I messed around with emulators a little bit, but nothing really stood out to me, honestly. It's mostly like
there's some good titles. You can play Castlevania there.
Yeah, there was the Castlevania for the Genesis, and that one I've heard is pretty good. What is that called again? That one's
Circle of the Moon, I think. Oh no, wait, that's Game Boy. Man.
Yeah, no.
Rondo of Blood.
That one.
Rondo of Blood.
Is it that? Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, I can't. There's like 2 for the Genesis, I think, and I think both of them are pretty good from what I've heard.
It was Rondo of Blood, and I think it was Symphony of the. Or I think the United States they call it Dracula X or whatever.
Yeah. Super Dracula X Rondo of Blood or something like that over in Japan.
Oh my gosh, what a name.
Yeah. Just rolls off the tongue. What color blanket does he
have? I had a Game Boy, dude. That was...
I never had a Game Boy Advance. My first console I ever had was an original Game Boy, though. And I still actually have it. I use it for LSDJ, so I make music on it, which is sick.
That's cool.
But I kind of want to. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Have you heard of Game Boy Studio?
Game Boy Studio? No, I haven't.
Hey, you can make native games for Game Boy and in your PC now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's code free. Well, mostly, and can make your top-down RPGs or your platformers on that.
Oh, dang.
Really neat.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of popularity with top-down. Link to the Past, Oracle's Awakening style. It's like they like to make those kind of games, and then you can even run it in your original hardware if you download it to like a cartridge. Kind of cool.
That's really cool. I actually have a cartridge flasher. I got it so that I could update my version of LSDJ.
Oh, there you go. And if you write music for it, you could probably play it directly straight to your Game Boy cartridge.
I mean, yeah, I have LSDJ on an actual cartridge, but I can back it up now, which is nice.
Oh. I mean, I've seen people make music on Family Tracker.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. Only it's only for channels because that's all the Game Boy has. But man, you can do some really cool stuff with it.
Oh, I bet.
There's some like really impressive artists out there who've made some just incredible stuff.
Like I remember, I've heard music made with fucking like hard drive motors, dude. It sounds
Oh
awesome.
yeah. Yeah, there's a pretty famous artist who came out of the chiptune scene called Chipzel, who's done she's done like
Familiar?
she did the soundtrack to Super Hexagon back in the day, and I think a few other games as well. Some really cool stuff.
And there was like these brothers, right? Like that would make crazy music. I think from what I heard, Nintendo was like, "Nah, no way! Like you're modifying the hardware." It's like, no, look, this is how we make it. And they're like, "Oh,
Yeah, the Fallen brothers, right? Tim and
yeah."
Jeff
They
Fallen.
would make
Yeah,
music for like games that nobody really cared about, and they were like going all out for no reason.
yeah, like friggin' the soundtrack to they're one of the most famous examples. The soundtrack to friggin' Pictionary on
Yeah.
NES, and it's like amazing. What's really crazy is I learned that Tim Fallen actually did music for the ZX Spectrum back in the day, which is really insane because the ZX Spectrum didn't have a speaker. It had a beeper.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way and it was like how many bits of
Is
music?
1 bit
It was,
technically.
Jeez, man, I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, it's what's really I got to thinking about it. I was like, he basically he was treating the beeper like a speaker, like because a speaker is just one
Yeah,
thing,
the
right?
frequencies, right?
Yeah, and so but if you modulate it enough or in the right way or know what you're doing, then yeah, you can get harmony out of it. You can get complex waveforms and stuff like that. And so yeah,
My gosh, dude,
it's
what a
just
nerd!
it's crazy, man. It's like, oh my gosh.
That's the kind of ingenuity that I'm talking about. Like when I see new games nowadays, they're like it's like somebody trying to like recreate that, but like they try to do it with modern hardware, and it just doesn't feel the same. It's like, yeah, I mean, you might get the feel of it, but it's not the same.
Well, it's because you're kind of approaching it in reverse, right?
Right. Yeah.
When someone with those limitations is trying to create, they're not trying to create those
It's
limitations.
a solution. Yeah.
Yeah. They're working around those limitations. So like they're actually like, you have to be like super clever because it's not just an engineering project. It's a like creative like endeavor to like be like, okay, how do I use these resources in a successful way?
It's funny you say that because like I'm not a video editor per se, and I've been using Microsoft Clipchamp to like edit videos, and that's exactly what's going on. Like I've been just with the jank that the software has because it has a lot of things that like it doesn't do. So like I just try to like cheese it to do certain things, and it works. It gets the job done. But I don't know, man. Like I try to get into like Sony Vegas or what's the other one? DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci, yeah, that's my preferred.
It's just so complicated, dude. It's ridiculous. Like you want to do a simple thing, and you got to read a tutorial on how to do it.
I love DaVinci though. I've been like really getting into it, and I'm actually planning on doing like some effects work in DaVinci for this piece in particular. Funny enough.
Have you considered like there's people like especially like VTubers now they're looking for video editors, dude.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like no, I've been trying to find work like that, but like I just haven't had any luck so far. It's definitely something
Do you have like a Do you have like a demo reel or something like that?
I do, yeah. It's pretty basic, but it shows my stuff off and whatnot. So I've been
But like
sharing it
video
around.
editing wise, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna try to like share that around a bit more and see if I can get some work because that would be really nice. I mean, ultimately, I would love to do like full-time editing. So.
Gotta get into that card game, dude. Oh, by the way, something that you didn't hear. For everybody who's in chat, earlier today we were talking about like comparison between Squarespace and Card being like the new way that people nowadays make websites. Card is free and is made by one single dude, and it's very efficient and it snaps really well to mobile because it looks really good. It doesn't require coding at all, and it's really easy to use. So I highly suggest if you want to host your portfolio there, you can do so, and it looks really good, and it's free. It's a single website page, but I'm sure that if you know how to like, you know, again, we're talking about finding solutions with the limitations that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some creative things done with cards, so I'd say like for free, it's honestly a really good way to do it nowadays.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that because it would be nice to have a place for my like editing portfolio or something like that, you know.
Right, I could show you how to use it. I made my website, like I recreated my Squarespace in Card,
Mm-hmm.
and I honestly think it looks way better in Card than it does in Squarespace. Because honestly, I've been paying like $200 for that damn thing every year, and
Mm-hmm.
if I can do it for free,
Yeah.
I'd rather just do that.
Yeah. That's what I said when I started. I was getting close to having a bill for Wix, and it's like, man, this just isn't worth it.
Wix is not too bad, but the problem is that like it gives you so much freedom that even if you have the best intentions to like make it look good, I don't think it snaps really well to mobiles. I would just suggest Card instead because
Mm-hmm.
it limits you in the way in which you can do things. But that limit in itself is also like a good thing because it understands that it needs to do those limitations to make it so that it looks good everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way I see it is, you know, if I want to have fun, then I go to NeoCities and just program everything by hand. But if I'm like, you know, just looking for like a quick,
Of course,
thing,
something that
know?
just works.
Yeah, something that just works. Nice
I
thing
say,
is this
man,
color will change.
my schedule has been a mess lately.
Like sleep schedule or just work schedule?
Sleep schedule.
Same.
Because I got some clients that like they live in the other side of the world, and sometimes to get in touch with them, you just gotta stay up. Man. I used to wake up at 2 a.m. and stay up till 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like a.m. to p.m.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like
I woke up at 7, but like I'm still feeling the worn. I feel worn out from like trying to fix it, you know.
Mm-hmm. I need to check something real quick. Come on, I don't care about all this junk. Okay.
What is it, like the line art and stuff, or what?
No, I need to check some colors for a character, and I know I have them on the my iPad. My iPad updated, so it's like, oh, you need to set all this crap up. It's like, no, I don't. Okay, that's the colors. Okay. All right. let's see here. I really need to get some more line work done for my comic, but I haven't been really feeling it lately, which is unfortunate. I'll get back to it.
That's like a recurring thing, you know?
Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
I was really hoping to have the line work done by the end of the year, but chances are that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you still make progress. That's all that counts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm about 3.5 pages into the next 15-page batch, so I'm getting there.
It's not too bad. It's better than having nothing.
Yeah. It'll get there. It'll just be a little slower than I hoped.
Yeah. I was watching this video, just a psychologist. He says like you shouldn't beat yourself up for like having made progress, because people tend to compare themselves with other people who get the stuff done, but then like, hey, you don't know their situation. But what matters is that like, hey, you shouldn't beat yourself up for doing progress. Like you did it. That you didn't, you know, meet your expectations as something else, but like you shouldn't beat up yourself for that.
Yeah.
I mean, also like reading a book about, you know, like this book is a bit like basic, but like it talks about not caring, and then like it said like, hey, you know, people forget that online has made us in a way have unrealistic expectations about ourselves, and that, you know, we should be striving for the max and like doing this like grandiose things, when in reality it's okay if we don't have to be extraordinary. Just be good enough so that you are happy with your own interpretation of you know, happy. Like it doesn't have to be fancy. Because sometimes like there are gonna be amazing people out there who are extraordinary, but not everybody's that, and it's okay if we're not. Because if we do that, we're setting ourselves for failure because we have these unrealistic goals for us.
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's just like, you know, things won't always just fall into place, right? Yeah. So expecting things that are out of your control to be in your control, just, you know, that's not fair to yourself or even the people around you or anything like that, right? It's like, you gotta kind of see where you're at and see and focus on the opportunities that are around you, I find.
True. Make yourself available and have the experience enough to understand when there's an opportunity there.
Yeah. Let's see here. I just have 3 more layers to do.
Is this like a treehouse?
Yeah, it's a treehouse.
Dang, it's a fancy treehouse if it has a TV with light.
Yeah, there's a power strip here, so drags all. It's like one of those like 50-foot long cables or whatever. And it's probably connected to
the orange ones.
Yeah. Let's see. There we go.
It's like the PlayStation Fat, right?
It's a VCR actually. It's actually a combo.
I see. Did you hear about the PlayStation 3? How it was capable of running operating systems on it?
No, I haven't really looked into that too much.
It was touted to be like a feature for the console back then, but
oh really?
They got rid of it. Yeah, in classic Sonic fashion, they're like, no, it's too good for the consumer. We want to take control over everything, so we're just gonna disable that feature.
Yeah,
it turns out like the government made a supercomputer with a whole bunch of PlayStation 3s linked to each other,
I have heard of
and
that. Yeah.
yeah, it was insane. Like apparently, it was like an extremely efficient way to create something at a very cheap budget, and ever since they pushed the firmware to just be locked to whatever PlayStation wanted with Sony, like it was just collecting dust now. Like it was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could run Linux if you wanted to on the PlayStation 2.
Well,
No, I mean
will.
on the 3.
Yeah. Oh man, Linux on the PS2. That would be something.
Oh no, 3. But yeah,
I know, but I will say that the PS3 is a lot easier to hack or homebrew than the Xbox 360. That's for sure.
I remember back in the day, like if you wanted to do that, you had to open your console and solder a chip to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the 360 was even crazier. You had to you had to locate a specific chip on the motherboard and literally drill through it in a very specific part.
Dang.
It was called the Kamikaze mod because you had one shot at it, and if you did it wrong, that was it. Your console was dead.
Dang.
Yeah.
Did you ever play with a Dreamcast?
Oh yeah, actually, funny enough, we had a Dreamcast hooked up for the longest time, and every single game we had for it was
Yeah, because it was so
bootleg.
easy.
Yeah.
Did you ever use this CD like that it had like a reindeer on it? And it would like
No,
let you run anything.
no, never had.
So it was like a
anything that.
side loader thing. Like you had to load a CD to let it play a bootleg game.
Oh, that's funny. No, we never had anything like that. But what we did have, and the way that my brother beat Half-Life for the first time, was actually on the Dreamcast. Now, that's a little odd because there isn't actually an official release of Half-Life for the Dreamcast. Instead,
Huh.
what it was a build, like a 90% complete build of a Dreamcast port that was canceled and then leaked years
Oh, what the
later.
heck?
that was how he beat Half-Life for the first time.
How Half-Life 2?
Half-Life 1.
Oh, what the heck? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Because
know
yeah,
that.
there's no way Half-Life 2 could run on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
It could barely run on the original Xbox, but they did make a port for the original Xbox of Half-Life 2. It runs at like 20 frames per second.
Have you seen this anime called Cardcaptor Sakura?
No, I haven't.
It was just like an anime, like a magic girls and whatnot. But like, I remember playing a Japanese because that was a thing, right? Like you download games from anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I found this like anime. It was kind of like Pokemon Snap because you were this character who was recording the adventures of this magical girl, and it was really fun because it was like watching the anime, but it was interactive. It was really cool.
It sounds like King Bob might have.
You played a King? Yeah, it was really fun.
Huh.
Yeah, that anime is pretty good, by the way. Pretty wholesome and chill. Pretty has a vibe to it.
Nice.
I miss that kind of stuff. Like you see like the raccoon, right? Like reading the books and whatnot. That's how the entire anime feels like.
Okay. Yeah, I will say I do like those more like chill anime series and stuff like that. I really enjoyed Mushishi when I watched it.
Oh, dude. I think I might have mentioned it before, but like, it's one of the very rare animes where like I was in such a mood watching it, it made me fall asleep. But it wasn't like a bad thing, but it was more like this is so chill and nice that like it just soothed me to bed, to sleep.
Yeah.
I rewatched some episodes of Space Dandy lately. Man, so
I've actually never seen Space Dandy.
you gotta watch. So good. I mean, I don't know if you knew, but like they had different directors for each episode.
Oh,
George
really?
Romero directed an episode. It was really funny.
Really? George Romero?
Yeah, and
Oh,
it was
that's
a zombie
funny.
episode.
Oh, of course. That's funny. Yeah, I probably do have to check that out because I've seen like Cowboy Bebop. I've seen Shampoo.
Oh, you'll be right at home.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Apparently, what's Watanabe? Is that his name?
Yeah.
The guy, one of the animators behind that, he's working on a new series apparently.
Yes.
I wonder if it'll be any good.
It'll probably be aired on Netflix.
Probably.
I have full confidence it'll be good. Didn't he also make this anime about these two chicks who like to play music?
I don't know.
Something Wednesday or whatever.
Maybe. Probably has done a lot of stuff, honestly.
I watched it and it was alright. Like, I guess they were talking about, like, before the AI got super big, they were talking about, like, playing music as, a musician. And then there was this company who was making music with AI. And that like, it didn't have, it was good, but, like, it didn't have heart or whatever.
Yeah.
The new version of Ram and a Half, which still sucks for the same reasons that the original did.
Yeah, I never cared for
Why do you think
Ranma.
that? Well, how come? I like Rama.
I don't know. It just I'm not the thing about me is like when it comes to like anime and stuff like that is like I look for the like least anime that I can find for the most part.
Oh, you don't like Unga Bunga fighting anime?
Yeah, not really. Like I've really kind of come to the conclusion that shonen just is not my thing. Like 99% of the time.
Me too, but like, I mean, there's some exceptions. Like, I'm not gonna say no to everything, but I know what you mean. The pretty big, like the usual like character being like, oh, I am not liked by everybody and I'm not popular, but then like I'm in school and like I'm getting bullied and then I meet this character or I have like a rival and like things change and this is supernatural stuff and now we get fighting tournament arcs or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh. Tournament arcs. I consistently am in an ongoing argument with a friend of mine that freaking Yu Yu Hakusho is basically just like 60% tournament arc.
It is, and I feel bad because
I'm like,
it is.
Every time I tune into that, like a random episode,
I'll back you up.
It's a tournament arc.
I was watching it because like for out of respect to the medium because like I like to understand like where things come from. I mean I saw a lot of like classic Gundam, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Hella funny how like every time they get into arguments they slap each other like some sort of novella. Yeah, dude. And seeing that in the latest installments of like Gundam's like heck yeah, like slap. And
That's funny.
I love how offended they get like, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, oh yes. But like I tried, watching Yu Yu Hakusho and I got far. I got into the arc where they rescue this snow girl that apparently is like the sister of some of the main characters or something like that. And they keep fighting and like I understand. Like maybe if I would have watched this like maybe 20 years ago, like I'd be like, oh, this is awesome. Because like it innovated with a lot of really cool things that like nowadays we take for granted. But like trying to watch it now, like it's a bit dated. Like it's kind of predictable, but like not to say it's like a bad thing, but like I don't know, like I do like some of the ways in which things are rendered because it looks so nice. Because dude, like back then, I think we kind of we missed this in anime nowadays. They dress real cool, man. Like they had some cool sass, man. Like they knew like sunglasses and accessories and jackets and shoes and jeans that are all coordinated. Like you don't do that nowadays.
Yeah. No, they did definitely have like style back then for sure, man.
You out of your mind? Hey, what do you mean? See, Ranma is good when you hear that what the plot is. It's way better than it should be, but it's like way too slow and boring at times. Some of the characters are just annoying and they're just plain changing the ending. It sucks. Oh yeah. The original had some pacing issues because they caught up to the manga and so they started making up stuff.
The classic.
And they get a bit repetitive, but like I honestly like some of the episodes were like pretty funny, so I liked it. You know, it was cool. Like, but yeah, like in nowadays in anime, oh man, I was pretty sad because like I have a friend who he's like, oh, you should watch Dan Da Dan, and he's like,
oh yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And it's like, okay, what is it about? So like, there's this dude who like, they steal his pee and like.
That's exactly how it was described to me. I'm like, oh, okay.
And then he looks at me wide eyed. I was like, I'm not gonna watch that. It's like, no. Look, you have to watch it. It's like, it's funny. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. It's like, nah. It's like, fine. It's because you know he's already hooked in the idea that I have weird taste because like I made fun of the fact that like JoJo fans are pretty deranged and like they do a lot of like gay stuff and like, I mean, which I don't mind.
A fact.
It is, right? But like I was saying it unironically as like a meme. Like it's funny. And he thought like, dude, I didn't know you were like that, dude. It's like, no, you're missing the point. That's not what it is. And since then, like I try to explain to him like, oh, like if I say this, it's because it's the meme, not because I actually believe it. And nah, he didn't get it.
That's funny. Also, King Bob, there's absolutely such a thing as too many tournaments. That's for sure. I cannot stand tournament arcs. Like Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, I actually enjoy. Like
it was hype,
way more than Z. Like I actually enjoy like watching Dragon Ball, and the tournament arcs
because they have choreographies. That's why.
Well, there's that, and like it's part of like the plot. You know, it's like a thing that's like building up and whatnot. Like it's not just like friggin', oh yeah, like let's have a tournament arc and like put everything on pause and just have this out of freaking nowhere because it's the thing to do.
That reminds me of how and they're getting out over this trend, and I'm so glad they stopped doing this. They would have movies where like they somehow magically have the solution to the problem that the main character was trying to solve the entire series.
Yeah.
And then like and they become free from like whatever problem they had. And then like the freaking movie ends. Oh yeah, and then they introduce this character that like has this magical powers that can solve everything for everybody. And then they die, or like maybe they just go away or whatever, and they never talk to them ever again, and then nothing ever happens. Oh, I hated those movies, dude.
Trying to think, I've watched a handful of, I guess, anime movies. You know, of course, like Akira and Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that.
Yeah, classics.
I'm trying to think of like what my favorite is, because I thought that like Akira, obviously, like the art is like second to none, right? Yeah. And same with Ghost in the Shell, but Ghost in the Shell, like I like.
We can't be friends anymore.
Yeah, try me, King Bob. I'll talk crap on friggin' everything. Like I don't.
Mamoru Oshii made Ghost in the Shell, I think.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. But then I watched the series and I was like, oh my gosh, this series this is way more like what Ghost in the Shell should be. It's like a
Yeah.
series. Like
I mean, it
this
had more
works
time
so
to
much better.
explain things.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and the world, like explore the world and whatnot, because it's a really cool world.
Same thing. I don't know, Pat Labor or Pat Labor.
I want to
first say.
Yeah, I want to check. I started checking out the series and it was all right, but I want to check out the movies actually.
Well, let
They
me
look
give you some
interesting.
context about that. That was made by Headgear. It's like a team of creatives who were composers, mangaka, animators, a whole bunch of stuff. And they got together to like make Pat Labor, and they were thinking like, all right, so we got these characters. They're kind of like actors, and we can have them do different things uh, in different stories.
Hmm.
So like not necessarily like they're gonna be like in the one same universe. Like they're just gonna do their own thing in different ways.
Huh.
And so we're gonna have like the manga artists depict their own version of the story. Then we're gonna have a series depicting their own version of the story, and then we're gonna have movie directors doing their own thing. That's why you
Okay.
can see like there's like a live action, there's like a manga, there's a series, and there's like a movies.
And they're
And
all
even
completely
though
different.
yes, they are.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they're really good. I'd say that the show took a more comedic route, and honestly, I really like it because like it's really funny how like they even joke like, "What do you think we are like some sort of anime? No, we're like public servants, and you stop destroying the city because we got superiors who are getting mad at us because the taxpayers are like mad that they have to repay for like the reconstruction of like the city because of the whole dumb stuff you made because you had you know a freaking panic attack or whatever. I love that show. Like it made the mundane matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the movies are completely serious. I'd say two was like a really nice political thriller. um and there was like this scene called Wyvern. Like they have this like helicopter scene where like something happens in the show. I mean in the movie. Turns out like there's this like actual US pilot who used to like he's like I think he's retired now, but like he made a review of like the military maneuvers in the talk that they had with the pilots in the movie, and he
Mm-hmm.
said it was pretty accurate, which was really cool to me.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, like the attention to detail in the movies is just exquisite.
It's always really cool when you see stuff like that. Just the level of detail. I mean, for goodness sakes, like it's always so cool when uh you have like actual specific artists that design like mechs and stuff, like the mechanics of the machines and whatnot. It's just like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
You know, King, I tried to get into Kintama. Uh, I I didn't get it. Maybe if I was younger, maybe, but it wasn't my thing.
I think I've heard of that series. I've never bothered looking into it though.
It's the kind of series that like there's a lot of cameos from like because it was like a gag manga, and they
Okay.
would have recurring gags from like different like authors from
Uh,
the Shonen Jump magazine. So
huh.
it was funny that way. But like I don't know, it was I people say that Gintama is kind of like the Japanese version of the Animania.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
That's funny.
which is funny they would say that because Animaniacs were animated in Japan.
Let's see. Honestly, there's not a whole lot right now that I'm looking to watch. Um,
Space
Nothing's
Dandy,
really.
dude.
I
Can't go
mean, yeah,
wrong.
there's that. There's a couple series that I've been recommended that I'll probably check out. Has been a while since I sat down and watched a series.
Would you watch Slice of Life?
I do like slice of life if it has kind of a novelty to it. Like for
plot?
example, yeah, like a plot or something like that, or just like something that makes it kind of interesting. Like for example, I really enjoyed Odd Taxi.
Oh yeah, that's
So that's kind of what I look for in like slice of
like
life.
you wouldn't watch K-On!
Nah, I probably
Nah.
won't. Okay.
I would suggest, based on what I've seen from your work with this story,
Mm-hmm.
you should probably watch Butchie the Rock. It's really nice.
I've been recommended that one actually. A friend of mine recommended it to me.
So funny. Because I noticed you have like a very introverted character, right? And is that but like on steroids? It's really funny.
Hmm.
Oh, you know what's one anime that I think you would love?
Hmm.
It's very underrated, criminally underrated. It's called Maid Wars. Really funny.
Huh.
Have you seen darker no not Darker Than Black, but yeah, well, that too, but like Black Lagoon?
No, I've not. I think
Oh, you gotta watch that.
Darker Than Black. I think that one also. A friend of mine recently talked about that one. If it's the same one I'm thinking
Yeah.
of, I've
He's
heard.
got good taste.
Yeah. Yeah, we just watched. We sat down and watched through the first season of Promised Neverland again.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's pretty disturbing. It's good though. The first season. A lot of people say, yeah, don't watch the second season. So I haven't seen it. I haven't bothered.
I've heard bad things about it.
Yeah, but the first season's good.
Huh.
Kind of an intriguing concept, and like I said, pretty creepy.
Dude, Hajime no Ippo is nice.
That's another one that was recommended to me actually. So I'll probably check that one out.
What I like about Maid Wars is, okay, how much do you know about Japanese culture in terms of like, say if you were to go and visit Japan, what would you do? Like, would you happen to know what the highlights are?
Not like particularly. I mean, I have like, it would be neat to see like the countryside and things like that, or the certain museums and stuff like that. But like, I don't know anything specific really.
Like, have you heard of Akihabara?
Maybe.
Like, you'd go there and buy like video game stuff, right? And buy anime stuff, right?
Okay.
Have you heard of maid cafes?
I have heard of maid cafes.
Yeah. So, see, for those who don't know, in Japan, they got these cafes. Like, there are different theme cafes. You have animal cafes where you have like cats and you can pet cats and drink coffee while you're like petting cats, which is freaking awesome. There's anime cafes where like you can read manga and like, you know, drink coffee, and then like there's maid cafes where like you'll go inside of the business and you'll get this girl dressed as a maid, and then they'll welcome you. It's like, yeah, welcome master, how you doing, blah blah blah, and then like come sit down and here's a menu, and it's littered with a whole bunch of like cute looking items with cute names. And then say if you like pick some omelet, they call it omu rice, and then you'll have like a little mountain of rice that has like egg on top, and then they'll write cute stuff with like ketchup, and then they'll go momoe kyun, meaning like I'm gonna bless this dish with good vibes and love, and that's what's gonna make it delicious. And so it's all cute and it's all like freaking diabetes injected in your brain. And so it's supposed to be like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this anime called Maid Wars, it takes place in a fictional Akihabara, like an alternate reality in the 80s when this whole anime slash moe culture, cute culture, started arising in Japan. And they started having maid cafes in Akihabara. And it turns out the way they do it is that each cafe that has maids, it's animal themed, and each maid cafe, like they're like the sheep maids, and there is the I don't know, the alien maids, and there is the pig maids and things like that, and they'll have different themes based on the same thing, right? But they're like all groups of like, they're kind of like mafia. They're like the yakuza,
Oh my god.
where like each one like is like in charge of a territory, Kihabara, which is hilarious. And and it's the main character has the idea. I was like, oh, it's my dream to become a maid because I've seen it in magazines and TV, and I think it's really cute because they're like they sing in karaoke and they're like kind of like idols, right?
Mhm.
And that's what she wants to do. When she finds out and she goes there, like, oh my gosh, they're all like about to kill each other, and it's like kind of like watching like a Tarantino movie. It's freaking awesome because they take themselves incredibly serious. Highly suggest to watch it, dude. Is like I've never been so shocked watching an anime where like my freaking jaw just drops. Like, what the hell just happened? And it's like a roller coaster. Like it just doesn't stop. Like you don't. It's rare for me. I've seen so many animes in my life that I already know what to expect. But with this one, I was like, I have no idea, dude. It's freaking awesome.
That's funny. Yeah.
And it's really well animated too.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do like the whole maid cafe thing if I were to visit Japan, but I would probably do the Kirby Cafe. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Well, it depends because they're like a temporary thing. There's some cafes that
Oh,
are
really?
permanent, but
Oh, I see.
yeah,
So I guess I'd have to go at the right time.
pretty much. Oh, sucks that you don't like coffee because we live in a world of coffee addicts.
Yeah. I don't drink coffee either. But my word, people
Dang.
are crazy about coffee.
I like both cafe and tea.
I don't drink either. I just drink water, man.
Dang,
Water's good.
that's so low.
Let's see here. What do I want to do with the store? I need to figure I might as well just get some flatting done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. If I got the chance to go to Japan, I probably would. Like I said, I think it would be really cool to see the countryside because they do have some pretty striking terrain.
It would be cheaper.
That's true. I'm not crazy about the big cities and stuff like that anyway.
Mm.
I've heard the food is like insane over there.
Yes, because they got higher quality standards than we do.
Yeah.
Wait, King, do you live in Japan? Are you perhaps a Navy guy?
A friend of mine, he was in the Navy. He was a submariner. He wasn't stationed in Japan or anything like that, but they made port in Japan. And that's right, King Bob. I forgot that you lived in Japan for a while. Now that'd be fun. I don't know. Maybe one of these days. Of course, I'm not going anywhere fast right now.
Yeah, we're all broke.
Gotta save my pennies.
For real.
But yeah, they stopped off over in Tokyo, and yeah, that's when he was like, oh my gosh, this vending machine food is better than anything I've had.
They say that it's good to experience it, but like not to, rely on it because you're kind of wasting your money with that.
Yeah.
It's better just to go to the local, the little mom and pop restaurants. You can't miss, like, they're all good.
Yeah, the thing for me is I'm not actually terribly influenced by a lot of Japanese art in general, with the exception of like some video games like Zelda and Ico, obviously, and stuff like that. But generally speaking, like I really don't draw a lot from like anime for stuff. It's not
like I feel your stuff is like more Western based, right?
Definitely a lot more like European. I've been more interested in like Eastern European as well.
It's like Mobius stuff, right?
Yeah, especially Mobius. Yeah.
Hand it to the French. You got good taste. I don't know, man. Like, am I biased? Because I think I am, but like, I don't think the United States has a good sense of aesthetic. I don't think so.
I think that we've really lost our sense of aesthetic. I think we used to have it. Like, we really used to know how to like make things look good, but nowadays,
you know what I think? What happened?
Everything.
Because I was wondering. No. Actually, it might be a hot take, but mind you, I do have a faith myself. But like, it turns out like from what reading I was doing, and I might be wrong, because I'm always learning, and I always learn more and understand that perhaps what I used to think was probably unguided. But like I'm a religious guy, right? But you wouldn't know that because, like, I don't know, I think it's like a personal thing, and like, if people can do whatever they wish, and I don't think anybody should judge anybody else for it. But what I'm trying to say is, from what I read, is there's this YouTube channel that kind of like, there's this lawyer who talks about like video game history with like cultural. It's funny because the way that he talks about like historical events in video game history, he actually kind of like tricks you into also learning about culture from like that country.
Okay.
Which is really cool. I could probably like find the name of that guy later, but like something Moon, which is funny because you also have that in your name. But
yeah. No, I think I know the channel that you're talking about, actually.
He has a very chill voice too.
Yeah.
He has this Phoenix Wright avatar.
Yeah.
Like, and he was talking about how the reason why we don't have that many aesthetics here in the United States is because we like how they read the Bible, is how what they got out of it is that, like, to have pleasure in things that are mundane is to not follow the teachings of the Bible. So the more that you're closer to reading the Bible is like what you do things out of favor, to be hard worker, to not have like pleasures that are just selfish. It's more about like doing things out of faith. And so to make things enjoyable and fancy and attractive is not something that is desirable for that culture. So that's why we don't have appealing things in the United States, probably. That's what he was saying. Is like, you know what? That to me makes a lot of sense because we are
Um,
pretty whatchamacallit, we are pretty conservative here.
well, I would counter that point with, I mean, let's kind of look at the full scope of that
Of
conservatism,
course.
because like let's look back at what one could argue to be a more conservative time in the history of the United States, in especially in regards to religion.
Hmm.
And that would be, turn of the century.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we were breaking away from around that time, like you had like the Victorian kind of background and stuff like that, although that was even further back. But point being that, turn of the century, 20s, 30s, 40s, you had the Art Deco movement, right?
Oh
Which
yeah.
was very elaborate, right?
Yeah.
And very just artistically, just like, in my opinion, kind of second to none. I absolutely love Nouveau, but
Oh,
or not Nouveau,
it's
but
really nice.
Art Deco. And then from there, okay, so you move up into the 50s and you get into the that's kind of when the Bauhaus movement kind of started to kind of show itself. Although that was
Mm.
not limited. That came from, I want to say that came from Europe. I can't remember my history now.
Most of
But
it, yeah.
but like I'm just thinking in like a wider scope of, okay, if you're gonna kind of base it on that, then you're kind of ignoring stuff like cathedrals, and those were
Well, the
purposefully
reason
built.
why cathedrals are that way is because, uh, well, there's different, parts of Christianity. Like there's
Yeah, yeah.
Catholics, and then there's other parts like Presbyterians
Hmm.
and so on and so forth. But Catholics, they made it their business to like if we're gonna go all out, it's because we're gonna do it for you know.
Yeah. Well, and I think to that point, like, it really depends on the Christian. It depends on who you're ultimately kind of talking
Yeah.
about. And so yeah, I don't know. I don't really agree with that take, because I don't know, that implies, I don't know. That's a very like, I think you're ignoring a lot of design history. Because what my takeaway with the way that we design things here in America is, it's all designed to be extremely like function over form, basically, right? And I'll tell you this story. When I was in university and I was learning, it was a typography class. The way that the guy described it, and I think he was quoting a book. So if there was anywhere to trace it back to, it would be this book, whatever it's called. It's like called Design Philosophy or something like that. And basically, he gave a scenario where he's like, okay, what would you, if you're a wine connoisseur, right? You love wine. What would you rather drink it out of? A goblet made of gold and like studded with all these jewels and all this kind of junk and all this kind of stuff, or a simple crystal clear wine glass? And his point being, oh, you would want to drink it from the wine glass because you're interested in the wine. You're not interested in the gold, the jewels, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, that's fair. But that has, in my opinion, kind of pervaded everything in design. And now it's like, okay, well, then the form doesn't matter. We just need it to function. You're like, you have a phone. You just want to hit a button and have it go somewhere, right? And so my kind of counter argument that I kind of came up with in my head was, okay, well, let's change the scenario. Let's say that you really like wine, right? But you want to feel like freaking Conan the Barbarian, like the king of the world, right? Now, what do you want to drink your wine out of, right? Is it going to
Yeah.
be that flimsy little glass goblet? No, you're going to want something that shows you're a king. You were going to want something that emphasizes that experience. And I think that that's where people have kind of misconstrued on their approach to design is.
Well, because I feel it's a bit different because like Yes, you're right.
Mhm.
But like also like we're talking about aesthetics in terms of fashion,
Mhm.
like art in terms of illustration or depiction of the human form,
Mhm.
um, and anything that would accentuate something like that. Um, it's like, how can I? Like we've become so prune about those things. Like we can't like let's look at Twitch for instance. Like other countries would have no issues with displaying nudity, right? Like even here in YouTube, like we can't really do anything, and then like, oh no, this is wrong. We can't share that because
Mhm.
it's too much. And other countries will be like, hey, it's an artistic depiction. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like because of that, like we've honestly like handicapped ourselves aesthetically with a lot of things that would help with that. Um, like for instance, when Twitch made it available for people to have nudity on the platform, I
Mhm.
thought, dude, this is a great opportunity for us as a community to have live art sessions where we can have streamers who are models who can like pose and like we can learn about anatomy and grow. Nah, we can't have that because people are naked and people are gonna abuse it, and now people are making it like a sexual thing. And it was very unfortunate because after 2 days of people abusing the system and not reading the instructions right, they just got rid of it.
Mhm.
Uh, and I just feel like the whole system just could just be so much better if we could just not be afraid of that. Like I feel like our country will be so much more healthy because there's so many assumptions about things that are not true. And we just feel so embarrassed about it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's hard to say though, because like, I mean, I guess the point that I'm coming at it with is I don't see how I don't particularly see how that ties to um like like being religious, honestly.
Well, I would highly suggest, I would probably give you a link to the video that I saw, but
Mhm.
basically what they were saying is to gain pleasure from mundane things is not the Bible way,
Mhm.
and to do things that are not, because like you should work hard. I think I remember the point now, specifically how he mentioned. I
Mhm.
think he said something along the lines of like, you work hard and do not enjoy yourself in this life, in this world, because what you do right now only counts to what you're gonna do, like what you're gonna get as a reward later in heaven. So the pleasures will come later, not now. You for now need to follow laws, work hard, and just that hard work is in service to the faith and not for personal pleasure. So you can't make things look fancy, enjoyable, or colorful or nice because that's not the point. You're not supposed to have fun here in this world.
That's so myopic, though. I just
It
think
is.
that that's extremely myopic to a very limited. Because I mean, the fact of the matter is, most people in Hollywood are not religious, or at least not openly so. Right? It's very
Well, I mean,
secular.
I guess it's become like, because it's like any cycle of things.
Hmm.
We go one extreme to another. So I
Yeah.
think right now we're living in an era where we're trying to get away from that.
Mm, I don't know about that.
Well, I'm talking about like, expression of, oh, this is like my gender identity, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is who I am and this is what I see myself as and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, that certainly is present.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not against any of that. It's perfectly fine, I think. And like I just feel
Why is
like
that like that?
like things could be so much more expressive, but culturally, like any other country, has those details about themselves, right?
Mhm.
I feel that's one of those that we have here in the West, about art. That we don't have pastel colors. We don't have like colorful stuff. Every clothing store you go to, it's all gray and in red, primary colors, red and browns and whatever, like it's blues, but nothing else. And you go to every building out there nowadays, and you'll notice that buildings have lost their color. Like everything is gray, made out of glass
Mhm.
and metal, and no color. So I wonder it has anything to do with this belief about and again, like I said at the very beginning, I might be wrong, but that's the perception I get. Like
Mhm.
like are we so focused and or like I keep forgetting this word. So being so uh conservative about things that we've lost the plot in being aesthetic.
I would say that there is a sense of conservativeness to it, but it's a corporate conservatism more
Right.
than anything. Um, well, and actually, that might be kind of another factor that King Bob brought up is
Yeah.
when you're trying to appeal to everyone, what becomes the most go-to kind of thing? Well, it's the corporate kind of safe identity, right? It's
True.
kind of grind off the hard edges, and there you go. So in that sense, I would say it's much more. It's less about a religious motivation, and more just a corporate motivation, which one could argue is a very thin line between the two.
Yeah.
To be clear, I'm a Christian, so
Yeah, I'm a Presbyterian, but yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Um
How do I
yeah.
want to do
I, I I I just hope that, like, we can I wish we could just see like sexual stuff as a more common. It can be a healthy thing.
Well, I think that's separating the idea of sexualization. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean,
So I've seen people who like, oh, I wish I was better at drawing, and like, dude, like, go and take anatomy class. It's like, no, it's just weird. It's like, no, it's freaking awesome. You
yeah,
learn so much from that.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with studying anatomy, as long as you're not
Yeah,
weird about it. Then it's not weird. It's just the
it's just
human
art.
body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, no, it is very interesting though. Kind of going into because it is something that I've thought a lot about in terms of like, because yeah, I am just very bored with the design of everything, like the look of everything, like just from video games to UI, especially UI. I can't stand what's like what has happened with like UI. But even looking at like for example, like Japanese games, like I love Breath of the Wild. I thought Breath of the Wild was great, right?
Yeah, had good graphic design. Yeah.
Yeah, but the UI is so boring. It's so
Yeah.
boring. Like all the icons are like it's functional. It works perfectly fine. Like right, that's kind of what I was saying. Like it will give you exactly what you are looking for as far as like its function goes. But then you play something like Twilight Princess, and the equipment ring is like this
Textures and
intricate,
stone.
yeah,
Yeah.
like this intricate like woven looking design, and there's these little like spirals where your hearts are missing and stuff like that, and it just like it adds to the aesthetic, this almost nouveau like classic painted look, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But
You don't like the Swiss grotesque style to everything now.
yeah, it's just like whatever.
I like the clean aesthetic of things, but yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, I don't mind it, like, strictly speaking.
It's just
like,
everywhere. Yeah.
yeah, I don't mind, like,
I mean, we're looking at our Windows computers now, right now.
yeah.
Back then, it used to be so colorful, and now it's flat.
Exactly, right? It's like, come on. Breath of the Wild now.
Hey, Woods.
Hey, Woods, how's it going? What, you didn't care for it there, Guilty? Oh, yeah, old video game UI, like, oh my gosh. Like, I think about, like, Deus Ex or friggin', like, Jack and Daxter, you know, where it's the goggles or the menu and stuff like that. It's, like, so creative. I love that stuff, man.
It reminds me of the Golden Oscar. I love that song. So catchy. That's funny. I don't know if you've noticed, but like, I don't know. Have you? Do you own a smartwatch?
No, I don't.
Because every smartwatch, you go into the store, and they'll always have like a. Have you seen? You play GoldenEye, right?
Yeah.
You know when you go to the pause screen, you see this watch, and it has like red, like it has your HP and your whatever the other one is, but like it's like red and blue bars. There's actually replicas of that on like smartwatches,
really?
which is really funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
funny. I mean, makes sense. I think I'm just gonna keep it like that. No dungeons. I mean, yeah, it definitely wasn't a perfect game, but I enjoyed it. And to be clear, I'm one of those people who likes empty games. I don't know. It's something that's kind of I don't mind
I like
it.
both games.
Yeah.
They say the
awesome.
third one. I mean, there's not gonna be a third one. That they're done with it.
Oh, are they? That does make me happy because I do think that they've more or less taken it as far as it's gonna go. Reasonably so, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta do the pot now. Gonna have to figure this out.
It's like, man, like I hate Funkos, bro. I think they look ugly as sin.
Oh yeah,
So bad, dude. Ugh. And people buy them, they spread like bacteria everywhere, even in places that make no sense, man. You can go to the freaking Home Depot and you'll find Funkos there, for crying out.
Yeah, I never got the whole Funkos thing.
Freaking dots, man. Like they're soulless. I don't know, man. Do yourself a favor, get an Android, or I don't know. Like there's different companies that makes really cool things.
I never got into figurine collecting. I was like, I don't care.
I did, but I have very strict filters for like what I buy, not buy. Like say if for instance for Mega Man, they have to look like right out of the video game. Like you put the character right, like you grab the figure and put it right next to the character, and it looks exactly the same. Like otherwise, I just don't get it. Like I have some Splatoon figures; they're freaking awesome. They're extremely posable, and they have like a whole bunch of accessories from the game. And you can take a photo of it, and if you take it with the right lighting, you could swear like it's like from the game. Because otherwise, like I've seen some stylistic ones where like it doesn't look like it. Kind of weird. I don't know. Like I'm very picky.
Yeah, the only little figurine I have, you probably won't see it, but it's this little guy, and it's Greg from Over the Garden Wall, and it was a gift from a friend.
Oh, cool.
And then I do suppose I have like, I have some Bionicle just like around posed.
Oh, dude, Bionicles are so popular.
Freaking, those things are awesome, man. I grew up with those. Those things are so cool.
I guess if you're not a Transformer guy, you're most likely a Bionicle guy, huh?
Yeah, probably, honestly. But yeah, I actually have my old collection from when I was a kid. And so
That's cool.
I was going through and trying to remember what I had. So I was like, I'm just gonna put a couple of these around.
That was a weird transition for Lego, eh?
It
Like,
really was,
you don't
because like,
even assemble things anymore. You just have things. I'm like, oh, okay.
well, now you assemble Bionicle. That was the cool part about them.
But not to, well, yeah, but like not to the extent that you would usually do a Lego, you know?
It was part of their Technics. It was the evolution of their Technics branch of stuff, which Bionicle actually saved the company. Funny enough, they were on their way out, and along comes like one of the best friggin' toys onto the market. Is that okay?
I didn't get it, dude. Like, I had a friend who had them, and like I played around with them a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back to my Game Boy Advance.
Let's see.
And everybody was playing Pokemon back then. I was like, I'm just gonna play Mega Man Battle Network.
I had
That
Pokemon.
game was fun.
The only one I've beaten is Pokemon Silver.
Oh, yeah. That and I had a collection of games. It's handed down to me. It had a lot of Pokemon stuff, dude. It had yellow. It had red,
Dang.
silver, crystal, and what else? The Pokemon trading card game and pinball. Those were fun.
Nice. Oh, I had Pokemon. I have Pokemon Pinball. That game's great.
That's worth a penny now, I think.
Probably, honestly.
And I rumbled too, huh?
Yeah, it did. I think mine's in not great shape because I left a battery in it too long.
Oh,
But I'll need to check it.
you can fix that. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. I can't remember if I have the cover for it or not, though.
I didn't get into Ionicles, but I was for sure playing bootleg Beyblade.
I never got into Beyblade. I think that was kind of out the door by the time I was really doing my thing.
I also got into Metabots, but that didn't catch here. It's unfortunate.
Metabots. That sounds
It was an anime, and then also they had like figures that you could exchange parts on it, and then you would have like these cool collectible figures. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I maybe saw that around, but I never got into it.
And then also Digimon figures too.
Never got into Digimon.
I'm glad I watched a lot of this stuff in Spanish, man, because oh man, the freaking American dubs sometimes were like, they're not bad. Well, I mean, they're not my taste, but like the intro songs sometimes are fire. But man, it was so weird. Meanwhile, in Mexico, since they didn't really budget to be redoing all this stuff, they would just like do like what they do nowadays with like covers of things. They would like translate music, and they would just leave it as is, which was really cool because you get to hear the original soundtrack. There was no censorship. You could just watch the entire thing as it was meant to be, but in Spanish. Meanwhile, everything is hella censored in the United States version.
Yeah, if it's like,
and then they change the songs too. Yeah, and they're like, oh well, because we think that kids won't get it, so we're just gonna rewrite it in like instead of being, I don't know, Yamada, we're gonna call him George, you know.
Yeah, I always thought that was funny, but then again, I've always watched or played different games, and I always thought it was just part of it was just like, yeah, like it was made in a different country. Of course, it's different. Like you just learn about it, you know.
Like there's this theme song where like Digimon's Digivolve, and it's like pretty hype because you get this singer who's like singing their heart out about like how with the power of friendship and like believing in like everybody and whatever, and like with the power of like the energy of your heart and things like that. And I was like, yeah, that's hella hype, yeah. And then meanwhile, United States like did Digimon. I'm like, oh, okay. Freaking synths and like pianos and stuff. It's like, hey, this is pretty catchy. It's pretty cool, but like, he just doesn't feel this.
I need.
It's like Dragon Ball 2 is kind of weird for me.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm watching some WWE wrestle match rather than like a fight. I'd imagine you watched it in English, right?
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original. I've mostly seen it in English.
From what I hear, people did not get the chance to see all of it because they didn't have all the episodes, right? Mm-hmm. So what I heard that people would go to YouTube and watch it.
Probably, yeah. Heck, I remember I watched so many shows on YouTube back in the day. Back when that crap wasn't monitored, Viacom hadn't sued YouTube yet.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome. Great. Those were the golden days, dude.
Dude, that's how I watched like 90% of friggin' Adventure Time. Oh, yeah, the rice ball jelly donuts. I seriously wonder if there's like a shop out there that makes jelly donuts that look like rice balls. There's gotta be, right?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Bridge is pretty.
Oh,
Cell's pretty cool in that, dude.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I've not actually watched Dragon Ball Z, and I never will. I've only ever seen abridged.
That's hella funny.
That to me is Dragon Ball Z.
I wouldn't blame you because the pacing's not that.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember what I talked about, looking for the least anime I can find. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is not that.
Well, how about Full Metal Alchemist?
Full Metal Alchemist is an absolute exception. I specifically
it's
Brotherhood.
A masterpiece. Yeah. I like both.
I've actually never watched Brotherhood, but or the original, but yeah, I don't know.
It's funny because, like, okay, what I like about the original is that it did expand on the characters in a way that Brotherhood didn't, because it was more to the manga. But I feel like if you watch both, it fleshes out everybody more in a way that you get to appreciate it. Really, it's really nice. Although I gotta say, it's hella funny how in the latest parts of the story, when they run out of plot from the manga, and it's like, now you fight Hitler. I'm like, what?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They somehow get transported with alchemy to our world in World War II.
I do remember that being a bit of the plot, yeah, and it's like, okay.
Shambhala, I think it was called. It was so weird. The animation was great, though.
Always got that going for it.
And you see Hughes as the Gestapo like police. I'm like, what the hell?
What in the world?
Yeah.
Anime Hitler for 3 seconds.
Yeah, for real, dude. He's there.
That's
So
funny.
weird.
Oh my word. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll watch it, but I'm not exactly chomping at the bit to see it. I think a friend of mine
Well, if you
offered to
wanna,
show it to me.
if you wanna like, if you like the author, uh, she she was born in a rural area.
Okay.
She's a farmer.
Oh.
I knew that. She comes from a farming family, and she like once you get to know more about her, you'll get to understand a whole bunch of stuff of what she does. Um, it's interesting because she makes an anime about she made a manga about this kid who's like really smart, and he wants to find out what to do to apply his smarts into like a hobby or something, because the reason is because he's a really good student, like a really good one, but he's never really applied his ability to learn things into something other than just studying for the study's sake. So he wants to get away from his father because he hates him. And then he goes into the most rural, out of spite, he goes into the most rural school that he can ever find. And turns out it's like a farming school. And he finds a love for farming in different aspects of like the industry. And you get to learn so much about like farming. It's so cool. I really like
Sounds
that.
pretty
It's
cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's called Silver Spoon. Really nice.
Yeah.
And it really does talk a lot about what it means to like do hard work and like sacrifice and fail and like try to learn and adapt to new things that you didn't know that you were gonna do in your life, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Back then, the anime caught a lot of controversy because there's a scene where the name of the main character, his name is Genshiken, I think. No, Hachiken. He made some fresh rice that was farmed that morning, which is kind of cool. And they're like, oh yeah, and also you can have this egg that we just hatched a couple hours, and then we're gonna have breakfast. And like he grabs this egg, and then he breaks it on top of this fresh, it was really warm, and he starts mixing it, right? And us Westerners, we're not used to that, right? Because of the whole salmonella thing.
Yeah.
But in Japan, it's like a very normal thing. So, dude, people were just like, why is he doing that? It's not see why you do that. Like, you're gonna get sick. I was like, oh no, that's like a very normal thing. It's like a cultural clash.
Yeah.
Pretty entertaining to see people arguing about it.
Well, they have a problem with the scene in Rocky where he drinks the raw eggs.
Oh, I wouldn't do that to begin with.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore.
There's been evidence that shows that what he did has no health benefits.
Yeah. There's no reason to do that. Aside from it being faster, technically, do you get the food
Baiting for
faster.
content nowadays.
Yeah.
Imagine if Rocky took place nowadays and like and Rocky was like a YouTuber. Dang. He'd just be doing stupid things for content.
Yeah, that's where he comes from, rather than being a thumb breaker for the mob.
Yeah, and then like he goes like viral because he drank the eggs. It becomes like an egg challenge. I hate today's world.
Oh my word.
Oh man. Did you watch the Logan Paul fight?
Nah, I don't bother with that stuff, man.
Because like I like boxing. Why you don't like? Why is it because it's violent or?
No,
or is it because like
specifically-
you didn't care about the
Yeah,
people?
I don't care. I like boxing. I think boxing's cool. But like I don't really care about Logan Paul. I don't like it's all stunt, you know. It's like I don't want to give him any
It was like wrestling.
Yeah.
Because I was really shocked because like I didn't really care about like the thing. I wasn't gonna watch it, but then like our Discord group like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch it. Like, you guys wanna come in and watch? I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna do art and
Yeah.
you know, watch that on the side. I honestly did not care about their fight, but what I did not expect is that the other fights in between were actually pretty good.
Okay.
Except for two of them, but there was one where they were like, they were two champions in their weight division, two women, and the first I hear, oh yeah, there's gonna be two women fighting for like some belt. I'm like, oh shoot, like there's gonna be blood. Like what? What do you mean? Like go, because you know in soccer when they play, you know when you see people play soccer, they see guys right, and they touch each other and they break like glass and they start crying on the ground. But when women play, it is infamously known that they don't care at all, dude, and they will like have bloody noses and everything, and you know they'll beat the crap out of each other just because they want to win. They don't care. And so I thought, oh my gosh, is that gonna be like this? And lo and behold, dude, they punched each other so hard in the eyebrows. They got giant gashes of blood just spilling out of them. Like they were beating the crap out of each other. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like my heart was racing. He was awesome, bro. And the other fights were
Damn.
But I'd say just for the fact of knowing that, you know, there's people out there living it all in the fighting arena like that was made it worth it.
Yeah. Now I remember a long time ago, me and my brother, it was a family vacation to Hawaii. The one time I've been to Hawaii, and we were watching just whatever was on. It was late, and a match between two Thai boxing champions.
Oh, Muay Thai?
Yeah. Women came on, and that was a good fight. That was actually a legit good fight.
Yeah, King. It was a great fight. That Muay Thai fight, like, it must have been brutal, huh?
It was pretty. It wasn't like insane, I would say, but it was a really good fight. I don't think like there was a ton of blood. I think there was some, but like, it was a pretty good match. It's a lot more interesting than like one of the other matches that came on. The dude like knocked the other guy out in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, they just like fall on the floor, they hug each other, and then they just keep wanging each other with like rolling on the head.
Yeah, it wasn't as interesting of a match.
Oh, dude, like these Boxer ladies. Oh my gosh, bro! Like, you could see parts of like their face just hanging, dude. It was brutal.
Jeez. Oh my god.
Yeah, and they were still going at it, and they were hitting each other on those parts too. Like, oh man. But you know, the adrenaline and then being mad at each other because like, you know, one of them is cheating, the other one wasn't, and
so yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Don't you have like a setting that lets you do that texturing instead of like tapping multiple times on the tablet?
There are textures and stuff like that you can apply, but not. It doesn't give you any like control over it. It's just a flat texture, and I want to have that nice gradation.
You can add pressure to it. I've seen the toggle.
Oh, well, something I'll have to figure out later.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like having control over being on the form.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, with executing it. I'm the same way because I know there's people that use the history. They use the histogram to like create commands with automatic stuff. Oh yeah, that's fancy. I wish I could do that, but I don't because This is the way I do things.
Oh shoot, this is. I don't want it to be on the color layer. I want it to be on the paint layer. Actually, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, there's a channel I watch every now and again called Rainy Day Boxing that goes into the history of like boxing champions and stuff like that. Really interesting history, and like some like old school stuff like turn of the century and
you should
stuff
watch
like
Hajime no Ippo then.
yeah, no, that's I'd definitely be interested in that.
So I think King was talking about it too. I didn't think I enjoyed it as much as I did. Honestly, it does have a lot of heart. It really got me to appreciate boxing a lot. Because they talk about things that people usually don't know about boxing, where like, for instance, to prepare for a fight. Yeah, it's on Netflix. To prepare for a fight in order to stay on their weight class. Sometimes they don't drink water or eat anything for days, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, like cutting and stuff like that. It's nuts.
And you see the characters in there like suffering and trying to deal with it while running every single day, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I really enjoyed watching Hajime no Ippo in Netflix because turns out like because I sometimes I'm just looking for anime to like listen to instead of watching because I'm doing art. It turns out like they had the 90s version of the dub in Spanish, and I have a nostalgic desire to like listen to things how things were made back, and the Spanish dubs back then were actually not bad. And I at first I thought it was just nostalgia, but then I started watching it again with my new perspective and anime, and no, it holds up, dude. It's really nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Because nowadays everything's just so clean and by the script. They're trying to be professional, and it's not the same.
Yeah, we need more ghost stories dubs.
Yeah, those were crazy.
It's crazy times, man. Well, I honestly think so. I'll catch like Sergeant Frog, a show called Sergeant Frog every now and again.
Oh, I know Sergeant Frog. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I freaking love that show, and I do think part of what makes it so funny is like you can tell that the dubbing crew is having like some fun with some of the lines. So,
you know, that reminds me when I was in high school, the library was asking, like the high school library was asking, hey, what kind of books do you want in the library? Like you can make suggestions. Like, just joking. I said, can we get Sergeant Frog? And it's like, yeah, sure, yeah. And then we got it right, and it's like. And I started reading it for the first time because I only had the previews from like magazines, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, I can't believe they actually let this through. I don't think they read it at all. It's crazy. Like, oh, dude, there's boobies in this, and they're so detailed. Meanwhile, I was looking at the librarian. I was like, "So, did you like the books that we got?" He's like, yeah, they're great."
Oh my word! Yeah, I have heard that the artist for that's done some pretty risque
Hella
stuff.
pervy.
Yeah.
As Japanese artists are, you know.
Yeah.
They go all crazy. Yeah, those bikinis were so tight. I never read those at school for sure.
That's funny.
Yeah, they were, dude.
here. Yeah, it's looking all right. Oh, I know what's going on. Should switch over to this.
We had a really cool anime club, and we would watch things like Full Metal Panic. That was always fun.
I remember I had a friend in high school who was telling me the story. He's like, dude, the anime club is the most terrifying place right now. Because, like, he's like, yeah, me and some friends, we joined the anime club just because, like, why not? And you'll be sitting there just drawing anime or whatever, and then all of a sudden some kid will scream, such and such anime is the best anime ever. And then, like, a full-blown, like, flame war will break out in the middle of the classroom.
Dang.
I legit saw a kid Naruto running through the halls one time. I was like, oh my gosh, it's real.
Oh yeah, of course, as you would. Yeah. The majority of members in my anime club were girls. We would watch a lot of dramas, and there was this one in particular called Boys Over Flowers. Actually, at first I thought, no, I'm not gonna watch this because it's for girls. And it's like, all right, dude, like, they've been watching this for weeks now, and honestly, like, I'm kind of bored out here. I'm just gonna eat my lunch in there and just pass the time, whatever. I actually got really invested. It was not bad at all. They like Boys Over Flowers so much that they watched the English version. I mean, not the English version. They had an anime, and they had a live drama in Japan, and then they had a Korean version of it, and they watched all of them. Yeah, and there was a Chinese version too.
Drama sells, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Let's do the shirt.
I remember the samplers. There were some of it for the manga. It was called Tokyo Pop, I think. And then there was other magazines from other publishers, but there was one talking about like dramas for girls, like, and you know, back then, if you because I would go to conventions, right, and they would give the samplers, and I would read the samplers later on, and they was like, oh, I'm kind of curious about this. What was this anime called? Like, because I like robots and whatnot since I was little. So it's like, it was this drama called Absolute Boyfriend, and apparently is this in the future, like, you can mail order like your boyfriend as a robot, sexy like robot like boyfriend. And apparently there's this girl who like didn't order one, but she got one in the mail anyways. And at first she's like all weirded out by it, and it's like this very handsome naked dude coming out of a box. Yeah. And she gets all nervous and whatnot, and then like he's like, oh, I'm here at your service and blah blah blah. It's like, she's like, yeah, you know, like, and it actually, the silly part aside, it actually was pretty interesting because like they do fall in love with each other, but then they talk about the repercussions of AI and whatnot. It's like, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad.
Trying to think if there are any series that like I really was hesitant to watch, but then ended up really digging it. I think I guess one of the first that I did on a friend's suggestion, like I consider this like the first like real like I sat down and watched anime kind of series that I watched, and that was Cowboy Bebop. Because before I like got into, I say got into, but before I ever really watched anime, I kind of wrote it off. I was just like, okay, whatever. Because like, you know, growing up in the 2000s, you see like Naruto appear, and it's just like the stupidest looking thing most of the time in the like advertisement or whatnot.
Well, it's Toonami, you know.
Yeah. And and so I just kind of wrote it. I was like, this just looks so dumb. But then yeah, my friend's like, no, you should really give Bebop a shot. And I watched it. And I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, yeah, that was something else. That was really pretty cool.
It's because the music turns out that the composer
Uh,
they
Yoko
made
Kanno,
songs. Yeah, Yoko Kanno. She made music. And then the director said, you know what? We're gonna tailor make this scene to match this song. And that was pretty magical, dude. Wish more series were made that way.
Yeah, no, that is interesting. I didn't know that. I wonder if Shampoo was the same way. Because I enjoyed Shampoo Mo.
So.
I actually enjoyed Shampoo more than Bebop.
I wonder where the origin of having a baseball episode came from. See that? Nowadays.
Yeah. That's a really funny episode.
Yeah. It even got parodied in Boondocks. I need to watch that episode. I don't think but they say it's one of the best ones.
Oh, that's funny.
Baseball episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Boondocks.
Oh, dude, you got it. Like I have black friends who like I unironically asked them like, hey, so I really like Boondocks, but like, can you just like, I hope you don't get offended with me asking this, but like, is me watching this like kind of like a documentary to like understanding black culture, and like, can I actually learn from this? And like, they started laughing, like, yeah, dude, you'll watch that. It's pretty accurate. Like, it's spot on. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. And I later got to find out like it's all based on real life from like news, like very ridiculous like 4chan level of like news reports and things like that that did happen in real life. And you'd watch the shows like, no way, this is real. It's like, nah, it is. It totally.
Yeah, sometimes reality's stranger than fiction, man.
There's one where like, there's one where like there's this kid in the show, right? Like there's two kids in this show. One of them is kind of like trying to like capture the essence of being like a political like activist kind of like like Malcolm X character.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just like uncultured, like ghetto and all about like the hoodlum street life and whatever, right? And so that one kid who likes to get in trouble, he like talks to the teacher in his school in a very disrespectful and very uneducated way, and because he says like the N-word a lot, and like it became so regular that the teacher like was confused because like he says it like he gets in trouble, right? Because he uses the N-word, and like apparently like it's in the news that he got like caught saying that, and it became viral, and he was getting canceled for saying that. It was like, it's not my fault. Like they say it all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like and this and that. Like my mind didn't even used to talk like that. It's like, and please, can somebody like can I borrow a French fry? It was like, how is somebody gonna borrow a French fry? And it was like, nah, it's not real. And then like, there's some YouTube video where they show the actual like interview of the teacher. It was real, dude.
Yeah, it's so real. No, I remember that.
So if you like Cowboy Bebop, highly suggest Space Dandy and Boondocks. You should watch that. Pretty.
Well, I guess I have some things to check out. I'll probably check out Hajime no Ippo first, honestly, because I have been curious about that one.
At least I would highly suggest watch the trailer on any of these.
That's fair. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, that's right.
I turned off the stream.
Yeah. We'll probably be wrapping up here soon-ish. Yeah, it's getting close towards 8. We'll probably wrap up around 8 or maybe a little bit sooner.
Gotcha.
But this has been a lot of fun. I'm still disappointed that it took me so long to realize that you're basically muted, but
It's fine.
yeah, to be fair to me, the friggin' Discord or OBS did not give any indication that was the case. Like,
want me to tell you something else?
What's that?
My name is misspelled.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh crap!
That's okay.
Doggone it, you're right.
Yeah.
Did I do that for both? I think I did that for both because I copied and pasted it. Doggone it.
Did you? Oh, okay.
That's an easy enough. Yeah. To be fair, it's N and M. Like that's easy to.
I mean, if you look at the keyword, you have the right sequence if you go from left to right.
Yeah. Well, it's all. Maybe we're all just we had a big old screw up today, but hey, we still had fun.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we have.
Let's see.
Oh, bro, that reminds me. Do you like mythology stuff and like, yeah, do you like like Norse stuff?
Yeah, I can dig. I dig Norse stuff.
Oh, brother, dude, like, have you guys heard or seen Vinland Saga? That's awesome.
I did start watching Vinland Saga and it was pretty cool, but I think was it second or third season that I was on, and I started to get a little bit bored with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me guess. Did you get to the farm arc?
I didn't mind. It's not that I minded the farming arc per se. It was more just like the direction, like I liked the farming parts actually. It was after it was him like leaving the farm and going to talk to Canute and stuff like that. That I was just like, I don't know, man. I just didn't. I just kind of got bored with it, I guess.
Well, I mean, because in a way, it had to result a lot of the stuff from the original story, right? So
yeah.
I was just very hooked because I thought, okay, now that he has this renewed sense of self, I wonder what he's gonna do now.
Yeah, I just felt very drawn out, which is a big issue I have with a lot of anime, not that one specifically.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Pacing.
Yeah, just a kind of mostly like a pacing thing. I thought it was all right, but yeah.
But that line, dude, like, I have no enemies. Oh, so good. So true. Nobody is out there to get you. It's all about inner demons.
Well, I particularly liked one thing that I thought that was really interesting was the way he starts to kind of reflect the look of his father.
Oh yeah. Arc. Like he was just a dude. Would you look at that?
Yeah.
That also resonated really strongly with me too, because like I didn't have my father in my life, so I thought like, oh, it's so good. So, you know, like
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
identified so much with it. Yeah.
Mhm. Funny enough, actually, as far as reading goes, there, King Bob, I've been looking for and guilty. I'd been looking for something to pick up and read, and a friend of mine dropped off some of Tolkien's short stories, so I'm gonna be reading through that.
Oh, dude, like the movie sucked, but like Ender's Game, pretty good.
The book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read it through. I read it in high school, actually. Have you ever
The
read
audiobooks are the definitive way to enjoy it.
Have you ever read?
The author said it himself.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Have you ever read like Heart's Hope or any of the later books in the series?
Oh, for Ender's Game?
For Ender's Game, yeah.
Oh, dude, like I'm caught up. So good.
I really should. I've been recommended Heart's Hope because my dad's
Heart's Hope.
super into.
Actually, is that
no, Heart's,
part of the Ender's Game?
No, Heart's Hope is something else. My mistake. What am I thinking of?
What is it? White Orson's
Speaker of the Dead.
Card?
I'm thinking of
It's
Speaker
for the Dead.
Yeah,
yes, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've been recommended some of his other books and stuff like that, including Heart's Hope. But yeah. Truth be told, though, I read a bunch of sci-fi not that long ago. I picked up an artist, a writer by the name of David Brin, who did something called The Uplift War, which is a pretty popular series.
Oh, really?
Far as sci-fi artists, writers go and stuff like that. At least like classic sci-fi stuff. Basically, the premise is humanity enters kind of the galactic landscape, as far like political landscape, and so there's a practice amongst all sentient life called uplifting, where they will actually take a pre-sentient life form and turn them into an intelligent, like, spacefaring race of beings.
So, like, wait, are you saying they have that technology to make furries real?
I mean, yeah. Technically speaking, here's the thing, though. They don't.
What a dream!
They don't start with like freaking cats or anything like that. It's actually it's dolphins and monkeys. It's like a chimpanzee.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But it is really interesting, though, like the sort of political nature of it, of the practice and whatnot. Sort of the ethics behind it, and like how it reflects on the societies and stuff like that, and like politics as a whole within the universe and whatnot. It's really cool.
How about The Martian?
I've not read The Martian. I think The Martian would be really interesting to read, because that
one's pretty funny.
Who wrote that one again?
Oh, I forget, but Andy Weir, I think.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different book.
Andy Weir. Highly recommend. That one's another one where you have to, like, definitive version is the audiobook.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because the movie skips part. Oh, really?
Yeah,
I like them because I like to commute on the trolley and like bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good way to like enjoy it.
I really like sitting down with a book and reading it. I enjoy that experience. It's a good way to unwind after a day or so.
Oh, really, King? You enjoy the movie more? I just felt like in the audiobook, you could definitely like feel the frustration of him being stuck in art. Because a lot of it was done through like music sequences and this one you actually got to hear his thoughts about like, ah, man, like now I'm listening to like, because like he has no internet, right? So like his only way of entertainment is to like watch reruns of stuff or like music that his crew left behind. And he has like a collection of like disco music, and was like, oh gosh, like your taste is horrible, but this is all I have. And he's always just listening to that every single day, to the point that he starts enjoying it. Oh, that reminds me, there's this series on Netflix, I mean on Apple TV, forget the name. It's like a alternate reality in history where like instead of us winning the space race, it was the Russians.
Okay.
So the United States wants a W in terms of the race. So like, all right, fine, you guys have the moon, but we're also gonna be in the moon too, but we're gonna fight for like resources and stuff, and like we're gonna make our first society on the moon and whatnot. And then like they keep pushing for that, like in competing against the Russians, and then they even go to the to Mars and things like that. So like that competition just made it better for everybody because they were all invested in like the space race, and it was just more advanced that we are right now. I wish.
What's it called?
Let me. For all mankind.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Have you seen the modern version of RoboCop?
No, I've only seen the original.
But you've seen the actor, right? Like the guy who plays Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy as RoboCop.
Actually, that would be cool. I would watch that. Alex Murphy, was it? Yeah. That one.
I think so. Yeah.
He that actor, he plays the main character in the TV show. Pretty cool.
Huh.
There's a lot of like tension because like they don't talk to one another, so it's kind of like a Cold War when they're in the moon.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Tex Murphy. Hold on, isn't Tex Murphy like a point and click game?
I wouldn't know. If you're talking about the Sierra stuff, I'm not super familiar.
Yeah, it's isn't it Tex Murphy? Is it Under a Killing Moon or something like that? Yeah. Yeah, I never played those. From back in the day, yeah. Oh man, are you into like point and click games at all or anything like that? Speaking of like space and all that kind of stuff.
Like I have the knowledge of these games, but like it's kind of superficial. Like I know about Monkey Island, and I know about this. What's the name of that? With the bunny guy and the dog
Sam
guy.
and Max. Yeah, Sam and Max.
Yeah, Sam and Max. So really good pixel art in that game, by the way.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you ever want any like really good inspiration for good sci-fi pixel art, or you just want to play a really good point and click game, look up The Dig. The Dig is so good. Yeah. It's seriously one of my favorite point and click games.
Oh.
Has amazing art in it. The backgrounds and stuff like that are just like second to none. Yeah, back when LucasArts made good stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Good.
They really were the kings of point and click. I mean, Sierra did good stuff, especially like King's Quest, Space Quest, all that kind of stuff. But like Man, LucasArts just, man, they were so good. In a lot of ways, it's one of those scenarios where Sierra walked so LucasArts could run.
Didn't matter. It became Disney.
Yeah. Full Throttle.
My
was
friend
one I
is
never
just
played it.
my friend is just so obsessed with like
With what?
Marvel stuff.
Oh yeah.
Breaks my heart because like he doesn't like my anime recommendations and like, oh dude, like let's watch Frieren. Is like we watched the first episode. It's like, oh, I don't know, dude. I thought it was boring. I'm like, oh my, killing me, man.
I have a friend who is a recovering Marvel fan.
Oh, well, at least they're recovering.
Yeah.
My last straw was I was very patient with it. Love and Thunder.
Oh
I think
yeah.
it was. That movie. Even the actor himself said, "I don't want to be Thor anymore."
Yeah, don't blame him.
Oh my gosh, that movie just annoyed me so much. Like that scene where like they're talking to one another, like the this girl, like his boyfriend, I guess, like his girlfriend. I mean, like I have cancer. I'm like, oh, dude, that sucks. But they don't take it serious. They don't ever address it properly,
yeah.
and they're like, but I have superpowers now, and I stole yours because I am female Thor. I'm like, why do you have to take it away from him? Why can't you just earn your own name and just be yourself? Why does it have to carry the name Thor? So I guess because of the hammer or whatever, but like Thor is not a title. Thor is just Thor.
His name.
Yeah. You're just the keeper of the hammer. That to me sounds cooler than just Thor. It's a marketing thing.
Yeah, it's 100% a marketing thing. All right. Well, do we want to wrap it up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My throat hurt.
Well, we got a lot of good, despite being muted for an hour. We did get a good like hour and a half or so of good talk. I promise next time that won't be the case. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and
so
next time I can do the art thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be super fun. Speaking of which, do you want to tell everyone where they can find you?
Oh yes. I can also put my website on the chat, right?
Yeah. Go ahead and send me in VC, and then I'll throw it in the chats.
Gotcha.
Because again, I don't know how to unblock posting links.
Oh, I see. Well, Twitch doesn't do that, but I'm just saying. There you go. You can that is my card website. That has every single link in my portfolio as well in one page, so you guys can find my Twitch in there as well as my Blue Sky and Twitter and Instagram.
Yep, be sure to check him out. He's also on Twitch and stuff like that. You're going to be getting back into streaming yourself at some point, right?
That is correct. No, yeah, okay. Sooner than later, because
okay.
I think it's about time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to catching what you're working on. So yeah, all right.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, this was super fun. Thanks again for joining me on this stream. I'll be back on Tuesday, but not here. I'm actually going to be streaming with some other folks. I'll try to remember to put up an announcement for that, so that you guys can find me. But yeah, we'll have to do this again some other time. I got a bit done on the flatting and a little bit of painting in, so that was pretty fun. So yeah,
I like the textures; they're pretty nice.
Yeah, that's a technique I've been really working on. It's been a lot of fun to play with. All right. Until next time, guys, take care. Have a good one. See y'all later.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.